All right, all right. Hello, happy Sunday, happy February 1st. Happy is for Black people anyways month. Hi guys. Hi, happy Black History Month. All right, thank you all so very much for being here with me tonight because as you know, you could be anywhere else in the world, but you are here with me, so I appreciate you. So thank you so very much. With that being said, let's make sure that we are doing all of the good things while we are here. Let's make sure over here on the TikToks that we are tapping that screen. Let's get these likes up to 100,000 likes. Also, let's make sure we're reposting the live, knocking out the penny goals, the gift goals in general. And if you're over on the TikToks, make sure you keep that chat going. You like the stream. If you're new, please subscribe. I promise you, it's fun here. All right. Sometimes I even do content. It's crazy work. But with that being said, y'all, let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. And also, if you'd like to support me, support the stream, links are in the bio. Everything with Erica is the name, PayPal and Venmo. I also have a Zelle, everything with Erica9 at gmail.com. And if you're over on the tube, the best ways to support is via a super chat. With that being said, tonight we are talking to Black folk. All right. We're talking to FBA. All right. I do think that FBAs are agents of white supremacy. I really do. All right. I think so because they promote this idea that you have to be a descendant of slavery to be able to identify as Black. And the reason why they think this is simply because they don't want their reparations going to anyone else. All right. Reparations that Black folks likely will never get. Okay. Because we've had a bill in the House since, what is it? 1989 by John Conyers, a representative. We've had that bill in the House, and he introduced it every single session. Thank you so very much. What's your name, Nolan? Thank you, Nolan, so much for the Galaxy. I appreciate you. But we've had that in the House since 1989. And it was introduced every single year. And then Sheila Jackson Lee took it up in 2017 when Conyers retired. And then I believe I can't recall who's taken it up since she passed away, but it never makes it out of committee. It never makes it out of committee. They don't even want to study how Black people can get reparations in this country. They don't want to study it. Yet FBAs are getting mad. Thank you so much for the money gun. FBAs are getting mad at other Black folks across the diaspora, all right, for wanting to come to the United States to seek a better opportunity at life. It's a whole thing, and I don't know. Maybe one of them can come up today and make some sense of it and explain what their mission is, what their goal is, their vision is for Black people. We'll see what happens. We will have to just buckle up, buttercups. Buckle up. Okay, there we go. All right. So if you're FBA, go ahead and get in the box. Get in the box, and let's have a conversation because why not? Why not? There we go. I saw you first, so you can come up. I don't know if this person's gonna load or not. Taking a while. We'll have to see what happens. They get so impatient. If you don't let them up as soon as they request, then they don't want to be up
I'm
here.
here. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, I can hear you, Neek. All right, Neek. Are you FBA?
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you?
1000%.
Okay, bet. All right, and so Neek, for the
I'm well.
purposes of you have a delay, I believe. For the purposes of TikTok, sir, how old are you?
40.
40. Okay. All right. Awesome. All right, give me just a moment. Let's send him a request to unmute. I don't know what Liv is doing. I wanted to do our thing, but Liv is all like just I don't know what he's doing. Anywho, so Neek, you're 40. Okay. All right. So you ascribe to FBA. Will you please tell the people listening, watching, whichever? All right, what is FBA and what is your mission?
Okay.
We're listening. Hello? Neek, are you still there? What is happening? Hi, Neek, are you still there?
Can you hear me?
I
Can you
can
hear
hear
me?
you. I can hear you now. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Hi. Okay. Yes. So FBA
Uh-huh.
Somebody is mute. So,
Erica!
FBA,
Hold on,
Foundational
Mr.
Black America.
Neek. Mr. Neek, I'm so sorry. I promise you, I run a professional juke joint here.
Yep.
Just give us 1 second, because my pal, he's a bit late here. Livingston, the floor is yours.
Erica!
Liv! Hi.
Hi.
Hi, friend. Hi, how are ya?
I'm great. How are
Okay.
you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. We're not here for a long time unless somebody else like drives while I literally drive, but I don't know how that's gonna work. But yeah, so that's what's about to happen. So let's see what we get into in the next like hour and 25 minutes. Okay, I might come back. You never know. All right, so Neek, again, the question was, sir, is what is? Please tell everyone what FBA is and what your mission is.
Okay. FBA of Foundational Black Americans. Foundational Black Americans been in America since the inception of America. America was established in 1776. Anybody who identifies as FBA is people who've been there since the inception of America. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
FBA, the delineation movement, is an identification movement. What has happened over the years, over the last few decades, especially since the massive melanated immigration to America, is there's people from all walks of life, especially other countries, that can check the box Black / African American. Prior to 1960s, Black and African American was always associated with people who've been foundational Black Americans. So when it comes to us identifying as foundational Black Americans, it's just an identification, classification, if you will, because there's a distinct difference, cultural as well as identity to America. We love America. All our family history is America. We fought for the sovereignty of America. Those are the distinct differences. People who come from the islands has a tremendous affection for wherever they come from. Jamaica, Africa, the list goes on and on and on and on. Brazil, Trinidad, Haiti. So if things happen in the world, say if there's conflict, most of those people who immigrated into America is going to fight for their lands. FBA is going to fight for America because we are American, and we always have, and we always will.
So I want to make
So
sure I
the
did hear
mission
you.
is really just to clarify.
I just want to make sure I heard you correctly.
Excuse me?
I want to make sure I heard you correctly. Are you including people from the islands
Yep.
within the Americas? I just want to make sure. Within America, are you including people from the islands?
No, we're not.
Oh, okay. All right. I just want to make sure I did hear you correctly. Okay, go ahead.
Because they
Continue.
were under other rules.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So what has happened is foundational Black Americans fought for a whole lot of rights and a whole lot of benefits. Okay, we fought tooth and nail for it. We fought for the country. Now people from diaspora have come over, and they're gaining benefits from those fights and plights of Black Americans. You got your hand up for a reason?
No, I'm fixing the
Okay.
camera.
So what's happening is when we look at the numbers statistically, we're seeing that, a lot of the people, immigrants, they are tribalized. They're not welcoming and inviting as Black Americans have been. We've been here for 60 years and we've been inclusive. But what we've noticed is as other groups have gaining a foothold in America, they've denigrated us. They actually take a lot of our identity, stating that hip hop started in Jamaica with Jamaicans and Puerto Ricans, saying hip hop started with Puerto Ricans.
Started in the Bronx,
and a lot of our things, our drums, beats, the Renaissance, all these things are erasure.
Oh my God. Okay, so
Excuse me? Say that
I said
again?
a lot of the things that you have mentioned really aren't things that are necessarily tangible or have really any type of impact on people's day-to-day lives. Yet the way in which FBA does actually exercise their right to, let's say, vote does have an impact on people's day-to-day lives, like the ideas that FBA holds, you know, being against immigration, specifically being against the Black immigrant, all right, does have an impact on people's day to day lives. So, my question would be for you is more so in the sense of, because a lot of things that you mentioned, they don't really affect the material conditions of people's lives. So I think the question that I would ask to you or of you is, what is it actually that FBA is looking to accomplish? Like, are you able to like concisely tell us that in a cogent way? Who's eating? Whoever's eating, stop it.
For some reason, the signal is breaking up, and I
Your
can't hear you.
signal's
Can you
bad.
hear
That's
me?
him. That's him
I'm
eating.
gonna
That's
mute
not
him
me.
because I'm about to friggin' lose it. Stop eating, please.
Let me drop and come back
I'm
because I
perfectly
got
okay
great
with that.
signals. No, I'm listening to you. Okay, but
I know.
there's
I said I'm okay with you dropping.
something's wrong with your signal. I don't know what it
There's
is.
nothing wrong with my signal.
Okay, and I'll come back.
Okay, all right. You finish your food first. Go. Hey, Liv. Hi, friend.
Hey, you want
Hey.
to know a fun fact?
Sure.
So, when we look at the amount of slaves that came from that landed in North America, right?
Mm-hmm.
They only 4%, maybe 6% came from Africa directly to the Americas,
Yeah.
to the United States specifically. Do you know that the rest came through the Caribbean?
Mm-hmm. And the only difference between us and the Jamaican is like basically a boat stop. That's it. Like seriously. That's why I'm like, what are we doing? But here we are.
Hello, Moto.
Hello, Moto. That was the ringtone. Okay, all right, let's keep it going, guys. Let's keep making sure that we're doing all of the good things. We got almost 500 people up in here. Let's make sure that we are tapping the screen. Get those likes up. Don't get complacent now. All right, do not get complacent. Also, it is Black History Month. That means white people, I want you doing all of the great things, okay? I want you doing all of the great things. I want you to take care of your reparations, okay? All right, if the government won't give us reparations, then you can. All right. Liv, I'm funny. Okay. So what was I saying?
Hilarious.
Thank you, Liv. Oh my God, I know, right? Okay. So anywho, guys,
I'm
if
about
you
to
like,
take one for the ancestors too. Ashe.
hey, there you go. I wasn't able to because I was trying to do the video. But with that being said, y'all, links are in the bio. Everything with Erica is the name. PayPal and Venmo. Also have a Zelle. Everything with Erica9@gmail.com if you'd like to show support. Also, if you're over on the tube, the best way to support the stream is via a super chat. I remember TikTok does take 30%. Not 30, I lied. They take 70%. 70% of the gifts and whatnot. So I get it and I understand. I appreciate everything, but you know, that's the best way I can say it. Also, show love to Liv while he's here because Liv is about to do some heavy lifting because I have to go get something to drink. Okay, so with that being said, Liv. No, you did not, teacup. My God, today. Hi, I can't see your name. Does that say Southern? What's your name?
Nah, Big
Sulan.
Don Salam. Yeah. So I want to
Sulan.
ask. Yeah, I want to answer your question about, and can you answer concisely what is FBA's mission?
How would I know what FBA's mission is? I'm not FBA.
No, you asked.
Oh shit! I'm on goddamn
question.
mute.
You
You
gotta stop
asked
doing that,
somebody that,
man.
right?
Yeah, I was
So I wanted to answer
asking.
the
Yeah.
question.
Oh,
So listen.
Sulan, may I just advise you of something before we even get started here? All right. I'm pretty sure that you're not new to the whole TikTok thing and whatnot. The only thing I want to advise you of is that we are not going to do the over talking here. Allow someone else to finish their sentence, and they'll allow you to finish yours, and we're going to have a conversation. We're not here to argue. We're here to have a conversation. Okay.
I bet.
Okay, all right, awesome. So, with that being said, yes, the question is what is FBA? All right, and what is the mission of Foundational Black Americans?
Okay, first of all, FBA is an ethnicity and a lineage. So that's like, what's the mission of Nigerians? What's the mission of Haitians? Do you understand that?
It's something that you're looking for, that FBAs are looking for. It's something that you want.
But did
So
you hear what
if
I
it's,
just?
I heard what you just said, and it's not an ethnicity, by the way, but you whatever. You're telling us what it is because
What's
that's
up?
what you identify as. So by all means, you can have it. Um, but the thing is that being a Haitian is a nationality. Being a Nigerian is a nationality. Now, if you're Yoruba or if you're Igbo, then that's an ethnicity. I
Then
just
what's the
want you to
mission
understand
of
that.
Yoruba?
So
What's the mission of Yoruba?
with that being stated, all right, I already can tell that you're gonna be a bit contentious. I'm gonna give it to Liv. I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna get my drink. Okay? And you're gonna talk to Liv. All right. Be pleasant, behave yourself, no over talking. Liv, the floor is yours, friend.
Thank you. So it seems that is Soul Man or is it Solon?
Bro, just call me Big. Look, so this is what I'm trying to get to.
I don't like.
FBA is
I
an
ain't gonna call you
ethnicity.
big. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna call you. I can
All right,
call you
call me
Don.
Don then. It say
All
Don.
right, cool. That's Don. I
FBA
hear
is
you.
an ethnicity, right? So
Yeah.
Yoruba is an ethnicity. So what's the mission of all Yorubas?
Well, I don't think FBA is an ethnicity.
But just because you don't think it is, it is. This is just like the sentence of freedmen. Is that ethnicity?
No.
So what's the definition of ethnicity? The definition of ethnicity is a group of people that share the same cultural similarities. That's an ethnicity.
Okay.
So we are ethnicity. Our nationality is American. Our title is foundational or freedman, and our ethnicity, yeah, FBA. You can say it's all FBA.
Sure. I mean, I'm not here to argue that. I don't care. So what's your mission as FBA?
But I just told you what's the mission of Yoruba. So that's like a bad faith question, bro. If we
Well, I
want to
think it's
talk,
to colonize FBA.
what you say?
I said I think the mission of Yoruba is colonize FBA.
I mean, if that's what you think, but that's not what the mission is. That's just your opinion. I'm talking
Okay,
about
so how can I talk about Yoruba?
because it's impossible for a whole ethnicity to have a group. Every human ethnicity or every culture just wants to thrive and do better for their next generation.
Okay, cool.
Okay then, so like that's a bad faith question. If we really trying to
That's
have
the question you asked me.
no, that's the question your host asked, and I'm just asking you so we can get it clear. See, that's the thing, bro. It seems like it's so many people that want to talk bad about FBA, but don't really want to talk in good faith because they understand what it is. They understand it's another form of descendants of freedmen.
But can I be honest with you though?
What's up?
Like, I don't necessarily even have an issue with FBA. It's just who y'all align yourselves with that give me the problem, right? Like, if you want to say that, you know what, I'm FBA, foundationally Black American because of these specific things that happen to us, right? I'm cool with that. But when I look at the actions that y'all support, the actions that y'all support, and then I look at the people that y'all use to represent y'all, it seems that y'all align yourselves with people like Donald Trump. And like, for me, mass deportation doesn't make sense financially. For me, aligning ourselves, especially being pro-Black AF, doesn't make sense because he just fired 300,000 Black women. So for me, FBA doesn't seem, and I guess this is fair. Like, what are y'all actually pursuing? Because it seems like from the FBA
that
I'm
would
talking
be the
to.
mission.
So now we about to go back to square one. What is the mission state of the Hispanics? That's an ethnicity. FBA is an ethnicity.
Go
it's
ask
just
some
like
Hispanics.
That's what I'm saying. No ethnicity has a mission group. It's just a group of people who want to, for the most part, further their lineage and better themselves, okay?
Sure, but like, why align yourselves with like people like Donald Trump?
Exactly.
But all FBA aren't Republican, and you know that.
I'm saying FBA as a holistically have aligned themselves with people
All
like
FBA
Trump.
With conservatism.
Republican, bro.
Yeah.
No,
See,
but what we're saying is that when it comes to FBA, Because here's the thing, I myself would be considered FBA, considering that I am a descendant of slaves here in the United States of America, right? So I would be considered that, but I do not take on what I've come to learn by speaking with different people who identify as FBA. The ideas of, xenophobia. I don't take on the ideas of conservatism. I don't take on those things. I don't take on thinking that, the immigrant is trying to take something from me. So I want the immigrant out of here. I don't think that way. So hold on one moment, please. Okay. So with that being said, the main thing is that a lot of FBA, although you may not, be a registered Republican and you may not even vote, all right, but you take on the beliefs of conservatism, which is in fact rooted in white supremacy. So that's why I say you are agents of white supremacy. Does that make sense?
Now, but it doesn't, because we know that white supremacy is in the Democratic and the Republican side, if we're being truthful. So this is the thing. You got some people who don't even claim FBA. They African Americans, but they still are not with this mass immigration. Now, do you understand that? It's people that don't even say they FBA. They on TikTok right now. They call themselves African American, but they still not for this mass immigration. So you can't just say it's FBA that's agents of white supremacy. The Democrats have never really been a friend to the black community. They've done things to undermine us too. Biden's law, Bill Clinton with the 3 strikes law, Obama when he was president, more black people got unalived under Obama, and then he didn't say nothing but called us thugs. So like, we need to speak truthfully. So just because someone chooses a party doesn't mean they agents of white supremacy.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I think you misunderstand what I said. Because here's the thing. No one will argue those points with you. All right. And it's not about Democrat and Republican. What I said, hold on one moment. That's not what I said. What I said was, even if you don't register as a Republican, what you do is you take on the beliefs of conservatism, which is rooted in white supremacy. I hope that makes sense. So we're talking about an ideology, a belief system, something that makes up your values and your morals is what we're talking about. All right. This isn't necessarily about party affiliation. It's not about that. I don't care if you're a Democrat or if you're a Republican or if you say that you're independent. It's not about that. It's about what you believe in. So for what I want you to be able to do here, Don, is I want you to get the idea of like what party people, vote with or whatever. Get that out your mind. All right. What we're looking at is basically how FBAs, okay, so foundationally Black Americans, those that subscribe to that belief, all right, are proponents of white supremacy because you practice nativism. All right. And nativism is believing that for you, because you can't be a white supremacist, but you can be anti-Black. All right. I'm fixing my camera. I'm sorry. For some reason or another, it's doing the blur thing today. You can't be a white supremacist, but you can be anti-Black. And in being anti-Black, you're being against other Black people from the diaspora. All right. And you're doing so because you think that they're taking something away from you. And you also don't want them to have something that you think you're going to get, which is reparations. All right. If you will, please tell me I'm wrong.
Okay, but you are.
Okay, go ahead.
All FBAs don't say that they're against.
You keep talking about all FBAs. All FBAs. So, yeah, all because FBAs. You just not all conservatives believe in the exact same things. Not all progressives believe in the exact same things. No, I don't want you to go on I don't want you to speak for like 3 minutes about something that I didn't say or be wrong about something. But you did say that. I did.
You just said all FBAs feel that Black immigrants are the enemy. So you said FBAs can't be white supremacists, but they can be.
Liv, are we just going to be having a semantical argument this whole entire time, Liv?
I'm saying exactly what you said, so I can debunk it.
So Don, Erica and myself are subjectivists, right? And we are not absolutists. When we're talking about FBAs, when we're speaking from our own personal experience too, we're looking at the demographic in which they voted for. And yes, there are some FBAs that are foundationally Black Americans that are actually against mass deportation. But holistically, when we talk about FBA, the vast majority of FBA, not all, not 100%, but just the majority, are for mass deportation.
Then why not say it like that then, instead of saying it in absolute terms?
Well, that's how Erica said it. I just
It's not how she said it. She said FBAs can't be white supremacists, but they can be anti-Black.
Mansplaining, Liv.
That's absolute.
I guess we're gonna be having we're gonna have an extremely literal discussion here today.
I mean, because see, that's the thing. I'm here to really bring truth to it. I'm not here to just push a Democratic agenda.
Like the whole time you're gonna just be saying not all FBAs are gonna be not all FBAs.
See,
not all FBAs.
Remember before we started, you said we don't interrupt, but now you're doing a little passive aggressive stuff.
I'm super passive aggressive. Liv told me that like a year ago that I'm super passive aggressive, and he was right. I don't argue with facts. So there's that.
So you just want to get some little TikTok pennies pushing a false narrative?
Are you about to start counting my pockets?
Is that what I mean, it's just TikTok pennies. But it's all good.
Are you about to start counting my pockets?
All money ain't good money. All money ain't good money.
Yeah, so come on, say a cogent point. All right, and stop harking on the absolutes and just speak.
If we speaking on, you say FBAs are conservative. So a liberal Black person, liberal views aren't rooted in white supremacy. Obama was a liberal. Clinton was a liberal. Biden was a liberal. Now, what were their views?
Are they
let's be truthful.
Oh, go ahead.
See, that's the thing. Like I said, FBA is a lineage. It's descendants of freedmen. So that's the thing. If you know it's descendants of freedmen, why do you keep insisting on framing it as a group or an organization? So that shows that you're not really here to really look for solutions. No FBA said that they against all Black immigrants. It's not even mostly the Black immigrants. It's actually the Hispanic immigrants. But you have too many Black immigrants during Obama's during Obama's pregnancy.
Yeah, during his
pregnancy.
All those,
during all those police offense unalivings, a lot of Black immigrants said, ain't no racism. Y'all bullet bags. Y'all need to stop complaining. So that was the beginning of the delineation, because Obama was considered African American. I'm African American, but we share two different cultures. So that's when we had to distinguish our culture. Do you understand that?
No, actually, no, I don't. But you don't have to further explain it. You're just proving my point that you are in fact a xenophobic. Okay, because
how is that? But see, that's the
hold on. You literally just said that you were against the. You really just said that you are against the brown immigrant and that you're not against all Black immigrants is what you just said.
Hispanic. You know why though, right? Do you know the history of Hispanics in America?
Do you?
Because you like to tout yourself as educational.
Do you know the history?
In 1956, Felix Tijerino, that was the president of LULAC. LULAC was the Hispanic equivalent of the NAACP, League of United Latin American Citizens. He said verbatim, the Negro problem isn't our problem, while simultaneously fighting to be classified as YT. Even the case Mendez versus Westminster, it wasn't about civil rights. It was about them being classified as white. So they was okay with inequality just as long as they could be with the oppressor.
Well, that's not.
Hold up. Yes, it is. That same mind state has been playing out.
That's all
that same mind state has been playing out.
Okay, so you would say that LULAC, he did that
really quick.
Yes, Liv, but I want to pose this question because again, he wants to deal in absolutes when it fits his narrative, but I guarantee you that he doesn't want to talk about the brown berets. All right, a group of Chicanos, all right, who actually marched with and organized with the Black Panthers. You don't want to talk about them because because you don't want to talk about them.
They ended up working with the police. That's why
there
none
was
of them
people within
off.
the Black Panthers who ended up working with the police.
But guess
so there's
what,
that.
We know
okay, then. So I mean, your point is moot here. When you shouldn't be against, you should not be against the brown migrant, the brown immigrant. All right, because of the simple fact that the Black immigrant, the brown migrant, and also Black people in the United States of America, are those born here, okay, are all fighting or should be all fighting for the same goal, which is dismantling white supremacy. It should really be that simple. It should
So
be that simple.
when the
But
last
Liv
time
said he wanted
Hispanics
to
fought to
correct some
dismantle white
misinformation.
supremacy?
So I'm going to ask you to be quiet while Liv corrects the misinformation, and then we'll go from there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Liv.
So the reason he said that he didn't want to align with the black movement wasn't because he wanted to be white. The reason he said that is because he didn't want their movement to interfere with the movement that Dr. King and Malcolm and all those were
That's
amazing.
not why he said it, bro. That's a lie.
Hey, listen, hey, he said we're not going to do
He even had
interruptions.
segregated restaurants in Texas.
Hey. And segregation said white and colored. So they would have been colored. Also, I think it's important to understand that the Chicano movement was an entire movement across America by brown people standing in solidarity with black people.
That's
right?
false.
Legally, they didn't want to interfere with anything that may have set black people in our movement back. This is why LULAC made the decision that they did, which ultimately you would have to respect. Now, look, you can sit here and argue with me, but I can show you my degree in this. Okay.
Fuck your degree. I'm talking about what the
now it's F a degree. Now it's F a degree. Okay.
Your degree
So
don't mean
skip that I
nothing.
went to school.
To
Skip
lie.
that I went to school. Where your degree at?
Bro, your degree don't mean nothing.
No, where your degree at?
If you choose to be a pawn for the Democrats,
Where your
bro,
degree?
your degree means
Where your
nothing.
degree at? I'm not a
You
got a degree, but
keep
you don't
mentioning
have critical
parties. He
thinking.
can't help himself. Typical.
You don't have
FBA.
critical thinking.
Okay, cool, man.
Because remember you said Hispanics didn't want to interfere with our movement, but when we got the benefits from our movement, they got the benefits. So how was that not
Hold on, wait. It wasn't our movement. The
It
Civil
was.
Rights Act, Title VII of the Civil Rights Act identifies, I believe, 5 or 6 different things. Race, religion, nationality, sexual orientation, and something else. I can't
You know
remember.
why I call it our movement? Because we were the ones out there spilling blood. We were the ones standing on business.
But at the same time our movement was happening, there was a Chicano movement.
The Chicano movement was to be classified as white. Look up Westminster versus Mendez.
Okay, so the Civil Rights movement.
Look up Westminster versus
Mendez.
Mendez.
Yeah, so the black movement was to be classified as white.
Matter of fact, go to LULAC website. It says their biggest accomplishment was classifying them as white. You can go to LULAC website.
So black people wanted to, so black people wanted to be classified as white.
You got a degree, but your degree is keeping you in certain parameters. It's not based on truth.
But listen,
you got to be
hey, 1 second, friend. 1 second, friend. So if the Chicano movement was to be classified as white and have all of the civil liberties and legal protections of white people, and the black movement was to be classified as white as well, because we wanted all of the civil liberties and protections of white people. So both of us wanted, both black people and brown people wanted to be classified as white.
That's not true.
Okay.
So our movement was about equality. Their movement was about identifying with the oppressor. So please don't disrespect our ancestors. You said you got a degree, right?
Yeah. And so it's just very unfortunate, right? Because for me, your movement doesn't make sense. That movement then wouldn't have made sense, because the total population of non-white people in the United States in the 1950s was around 10%. 90% of the population was white.
Yep.
And so in that moment, what we saw was movements for people representing their own individual ethnicities, own groups of people, come into solidarity to have a movement that shook America, that moved the ground that America was built on. And you want us to believe that in that unity, we should seek division. We should look to divide black and brown people. To what end? When we've seen that the collective movements of both black and brown people, the White Panthers, the Black Panthers, the Brown Berets, right? We could see those movements of unity shaking this country's foundation. And you want me to believe, as a descendant of chattel slavery, someone you would say would be FBA, as well as a Jamaican. Jabba, that you want, you want me to believe that division is the way to go. One love, Maya. You know I know what else you gotta talk about.
Okay, so now we gotta bring it back to reality. Now, idealistically, that sounds good, us being unified. But even during the Rainbow Coalition and Fred Hampton started, we seen what happened. We seen how we was the only ones that was unalive, and a lot of the Asians. Matter of fact, the Asian Panther, he was directly working with the feds. The Brown Berets, they stood down when that pressure come. The white people that was with us, they stood down when that pressure came. So let's keep it real. Let's not live on this idealistic ideology. We got to deal in reality, bro. 'Cause we have children we looking out for. We don't have time to lie to our children.
Cool. So who popped up? Who caused Fred Hampton's unaliving? Was it a brown beret or was it a black person? Because for
Yes.
me, what I see, I got you. Because for me, what I see was black men like you that sold out Fred Hampton, right? That it was black men like you that sold out MLK. It was black men like you and FBA that sold out Malcolm X. It was black men like you with these ideologies that looked to stifle the movement, that unalived our civil rights leaders that was at the Edmund Pettus Bridge, that marched. Fannie Lou Hamer got her ass beat for niggas like you to be able to sit up here and say the things that you saying. And for me, that's illogical to go and spit in the face in those ancestors, those people that gave their lives in the face of white supremacy, in the face of that grand dragon. To sit here and say that hey, you know what? I agree with the white man. Exactly. To me, you a roast that voted for Ray. Assata Shakur would never.
Okay, you finished because you just basically gave a lot of opinions with no facts. Now let me break something down.
It is factual.
My ancestors,
it is factual.
No, that was opinion. When he said,
it's not factual that a black man
like you.
It's not factual that a black man, all right, unalive, snitched to the FBI, who then informed the Chicago PD where Fred Hampton would be.
Asian man did, just like the Brown Berets.
So you want to go tit for tat for this thing, not recognizing what it is that you're actually standing for. That like what you're standing for, okay, if you can actually zone in and focus, like really lock in, okay, what we're talking about here, all right, what we're talking about is what it is you all actually believe, okay? You haven't mentioned what it is, all right, that FBA is fighting for. You're trying to paint it as just some type of ethnicity, but that isn't true. All right, both Liv and I have talked too. That just isn't true. That means that is not the only thing. I don't know if you're not listening to all of the words that are being said, but I am saying words, and I have, like, they have meaning. All right, they also have nuance and context to them too. Okay,
so you're saying it's organization?
So yes, it is. Because why do many FBA see Tariq Nasheed as their leader?
But
okay, you have to think about that.
All right, hold up, man. See, this the thing.
Sure.
The guy down bottom just said our ancestors didn't die for niggas like me. First of all, my ancestors didn't die for us to be Democratic pawns, nigga. So you gonna sit here and twist a narrative just so you can make your paymasters happy? Bro, we up here fighting for reparations. We the ones who really putting in work. Y'all over here fighting on our ancestors' blood for immigrants who are anti-black. And you talking about who is a traitor? We gotta be truthful. Now, we already said FBA is an ethnicity. No one ever said Tariq is their leader, but you're going to sit here and regurgitate lies that you know not true just to get a paycheck? And you talking about shameful?
Listen, Negro, you keep talking about a paycheck. It's very giving pocket watching, which is very anti-black. All right, we've been live for 45 minutes. No one has sent anything. There's no paycheck to be had here. Now, with that being said, as I told you from the jump, this is a conversation because we are trying to understand. You are the very first person I've ever come across who ascribes to FBA who has said that they do not follow Tariq Nasheed. The very first person. This is not the first time I've held this live. Okay? So again, the words that I say have context. They have nuance behind them. Okay? I just want to let you know that. All right? And also, in regards to FBA, many of you have come up and have disparaged not just the brown immigrant, but also the black immigrant. Okay, because you suffer from last place anxiety. The majority of you, actually, I'm going to say all of you, fuck it. All of you suffer from last place anxiety. You feel that they are taking something from you, all right? And in taking something from you, this imaginary whatever it is, all right, you feel that it's best that you push them out of the way and take on the ideology that this country is for those and only for those born here, that they shouldn't be here. That's the ideology that you take on. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to come off mute and you're going to tell us, no, we don't. We don't dislike all immigrants. That's what you're going to say. And then you're going to say something about Democrats and blah, 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 blah. I really, really need you, okay, to actually engage in the conversation and really just tell us, what is it that FBA wants? If you are only going to tell us again that FBA is simply an ethnicity, then by all means, you're not contributing to this conversation.
Because you know why, man? Because you trying to put me into a trap.
I'm not trying to push you into a trap.
Hold up, come on, man.
I want to know what the fuck do y'all want?
Get me to say
what do y'all want?
Organization.
What do y'all want?
Organization. And you did say
he's a fucking liar. There he goes. He's a liar. Liv, how many times have they told us or have they agreed that Tariq Nasheed is their leader?
Every single time we talk to him.
Every single fucking time. If they're not quoting him, they're referencing him. So I'm asking him because he believes that he is FBA, then by all means, sir, tell us, what is your mission? It's an ethnicity. It's an ethnicity. No, the fuck it's not. Because if it was simply just an ethnicity, then you all wouldn't be hateful towards immigrants. You wouldn't be hateful towards them. Anywho, my bestie sent me a raid. Shout out to Dan. Hey, Dan. Liv, don't take offense. Shout out to Dan Malik for the raid. Thank you so very much. Hi, Danimals. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure we're tapping that screen as we come in. Also, make sure that we are sending our daily heart meets. Thank you, Kinsey, for the star. And let's do all of the good things. You guys know me. All right, you should. And if you don't know me, by all means, you should get to know me. Go ahead. If you see beside my name, if it says follow, you should tap it, send your daily heart me, and, you know, repost the live. Let's knock out the high bears. Let's do all of the good things, guys. Also, Liv is joining me tonight because men are weird and men have a tendency to overtalk women. So Liv is here with his voice to say, shut the fuck up. Okay? All right. So make sure you're showing Liv some noise, some love. Some love. There we go.
Lloyd?
I don't know, Liv. I'm tired. And I'm kind of rushing. I ain't got that much time. All right. Also, if you like to show love to me, the links are in the bio. Everything with Erica is the name. PayPal and Venmo. I also have a Zelle, everythingwitherica9@gmail.com. And if you're over on the tube, the best way to support the stream is via a super chat. All right. I want to thank you all so very much for being here. And please be sure to take care of my friend Liv because he's the friggin' best. Okay. Take care, Liv. All right, let's keep it moving, guys. Let's keep it moving. Let's see what we have here.
I'm going to keep this up because Asada Shakur would never. She would never. But I got to turn it off because of smoke.
You're doing that right now?
Well, yeah, because it was going to do her bad things.
We are going to do her bad things. I think I might come back later tonight, but are you going to school tomorrow?
But I got to go to school tomorrow.
God so, damn it, Livingston.
End at 9 o'clock.
Damn, you do end at 9. You end early as hell, too. Thank you. Thank you so much, Natalie, for the 15. Natalie said, I wish his mic was broke. Well, it's not broke, but he's no longer here, thank goodness, because he had to go. If you're not going to engage, and I don't really feel like doing it, just engage with the conversation. Liv, I'll let you choose one. Do you have mod powers on this account?
Yes.
Okay, all right, choose somebody. You get to look at the
request. I don't. I lied. No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Say something in the chat. I'm going to let Liv choose the next person, guys. And drop some hearts in the chat for Natalie, y'all. Thank you so very much for the 15, love. I appreciate you. All right. And just keep doing all of candy corn is wicked. Why would you do that? All right. Why would you say that? Okay.
Shots fired.
Boom, boom, boom. But that's not how you do shots fired. I need a nap.
Is that how your pew pew sound? It's
pew, pew.
Boop, boop, boop.
It's a 22.
You say pew pew?
Boom, boom.
My shit say Boko, Boko.
All right, Lil, choose somebody. God damn.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Oh yeah, I see it in his face.
Jesus,
That's
not his
good.
face. That's wicked. Nigga said, I see it in your face. Bruh. All right. Hi, Beacon. Are you FBA?
I don't subscribe to that, but yeah, I was born in Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay, so like listen, if you don't subscribe to it, then like cause I'm FBA, but I don't ascribe to it. So I wouldn't say that you're an agent of white supremacy then, if you don't ascribe to their beliefs.
No, but I think that movement now is absolutely subscribing to white supremacy, but I don't think that white supremacy is where we're looking all the time. I think we think one thing is white supremacy, and it's not. And I think most of our ancestors that were either brought over here or were indigenous to here, they were more aligned with the immigrants that come over here now philosophically and work ethic wise. So I always find myself on the odd end with most people that say, "Oh, I'm FBA" or against immigrants. I think most immigrants, especially the ones that are ethnically like us, Africanoid, they don't like what they see, and we don't really give them anything in this quote unquote culture to where they can say, "Okay, yeah, let's link up," because they come over here and they're the number one immigrant groups, Nigerians.
Africanoid?
Did he say Africanoid? I thought he said
Yeah,
that. You see
that's
my
one of my
face?
that's one of my little terms. Yeah,
That's not
it
a
is.
thing.
Your
It is.
term?
That's one of my little terms. That shouldn't even be something like what's the big deal? It's just a word I made up. It's a word I use.
That's
It's not a
not
big deal.
amazing.
Yeah, I just made it up. It ain't that big a deal.
It kind of is though, because that's not a thing. It's not a thing.
Words, people make up words all the time. So it is what
People
it
make
is.
up words all the time. Yeah, they do make up words all
Yeah,
the
they do.
time. You're right, they do.
Yeah, they do.
But the thing
Yeah.
is that if those words are don't become the norm, then guess what? They're not a thing. All right. So it's just
Who's
you
saying it
making
won't
up.
though?
It's just you making up stuff.
Who's saying it won't
So
become the norm?
I don't know what Africanoid is. It's not a thing. All right. And I'm thank you for
Well, when you
clarifying
break down
that.
the breed,
You, I'm so sorry. Like, what is wrong with you? Calm down. Like seriously, just calm down. The fuck?
Shut the fuck up.
Thank you, Liv.
nah. How
Appreciate
about
you.
y'all calm down?
All right, what are we doing?
I'm literally like, nah,
I'm
y'all
literally
just
just gonna say that you made up a word. Okay, we don't recognize that word. Anywho, moving on. All right, what's your point?
My point is that I think that a lot of quote unquote FBAs are agents of white supremacy. That
You agree with us then?
Yes, I agree with that. That most of them are.
Okay. Okay. Liv, that was a bad pick. I blame you. I blame you. What her crazy
I'm gonna
ass
be
woman?
honest. He had horrible facial hair. He had
I couldn't
horrible
really see
facial
it.
hair. It was his mustache, and I was like, you know what, with a mustache and a barber like that. But then when he said Greenville, I kind of got it. I understand.
Oh, like South Carolina? Okay.
Oh, B1?
And Ayana. Where's Kiana?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
You want me to call?
No, not yet, B1. Hi, Ayana.
Okay.
Do you disagree with the background, love?
Who, me?
Yes.
I'm PBA. I'm not FBA. I'm PBA. But no, I don't agree with that. I think
What's
some of them are
PBA?
cool. You said what now?
What's PBA?
It's probably something you wouldn't understand. If we could go past that, if we could just,
Ayana,
you ain't got.
I don't have time.
Huh.
I really don't. I don't have time. What's PBA,
It's
Ayana?
pure blood American. Pure blood American. But no, I don't think all of them is white supremacy. I do think half of them
What
hopped
the
off
fuck
a
is a
boat.
pure blood American, Ayana?
Me, you looking at one?
No, what is it? Like what is it? Like
It's
what
me
makes one
in the
pure
flesh.
blood?
Me.
What makes one pure
All your.
blood?
I'm finna tell you. First, you gotta know who your people is. You can't come from no bastardized family. My parents were both married. Both of their parents were married. Both of their parents were married, and both of their parents were married, and they're all pure bloods. That's what a pure blood is. I can't explain it. It's like trying to explain ether. It's like trying to explain the wind. But back to your question about FBAs being white supremacy. No, I don't think all of them.
I ain't doing that shit. No, I refuse. I have a choice. And I choose not to. All right, that's Kiana's friend. Kiana can come talk to her. I'm not doing that. Fuck that. No, won't do it. I refuse. Not doing it. There's no way. I don't get paid enough. There's that. Anywho, hey guys, quick break. Simhar is here. Simhar is located in Libya. And in Libya, she's displaced. Oh, thank you, Ari, for the Viking hammer, love. Drop some hearts for Ari. Guys, let's make sure that we're showing Simhar love. Let's try to get her coins up here. She uses the money that she gets on TikTok to take care of herself and her children out there in Libya. And so let's just show her some love while she's here. Let's keep doing all the good things, guys. All right. Hi, B1. Hi.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
Fantastic.
So I
You're
disagree
black?
with it. I'm black. I'm Black American. Yes.
You're Black American. Okay.
Yeah.
Liv, you
And
know this guy?
You live? You know me? He may not.
Liv is so double teaming. He's double teaming right now. I know it. I know him.
So
Okay,
I
why do you
disagree with the
disagree?
prompt.
Okay.
I disagree with the prompt.
Mhm.
It's intellectually dishonest
Why do you say
to
that?
rob white supremacy. That's a whole structure,
It is.
and we don't. Black Americans don't have that sense of power. So for
you
right
don't
there, I
think-
can
So
distill
one
what.
moment. Hold on one moment. So when I say agent, white supremacy, do you think that I'm saying FBAs are white supremacists?
Well, you're saying we're agents of, the extension of, or appointed by some white supremacists. That's intellectually dishonest. No, it
No.
implies that Black Americans don't have a sense of autonomy in terms of
No.
intellectual thought process.
No, it does not imply that.
Yes, it
taking a
does.
lot
You're
of-
saying
no, it
that
doesn't.
somebody
You're
else
taking
is
a lot
telling
of
us what to
assumptions. How are
do.
you going to tell me what it
Well,
implies? You
you're
can tell me
saying
what
that
you think
if I'm an
about
agent
it.
of somebody, I'm
But what I'm
acting
going to
in
do
the advocate.
is I'm going to actually answer it, because I don't know why you all think that, like, the way to have a
To
conversation
be an
is
agent
to
of somebody, I'm
just
acting as an.
Okay, there we go. All right, that was easy enough. Wowzers, good grief. All right, you're acting on behalf of white supremacy. That would be what the agent is. All right, you're
Yes,
not
of course.
acting. All right, you still have your free will. If you're thinking of agency,
No, you don't.
all right, if you're thinking of
No, you don't.
agency, then you would still have your free will.
If I'm an
Okay, to
agent of
make your
somebody, I'm
choice,
acting on their
but you
behalf.
are acting on the behalf.
No, it's not an independent mindset. You're wrong. If I'm acting in the agency of another party, I'm acting on their interests, not on my own interests. That means
That
I
does
don't
not
have
mean
any
that you are
autonomy of
not
thought.
act. That
There's
does
no
not
sovereign
mean
act going on
that
here.
does not
There's
mean.
no
I need you to be quiet. Thank you very much. All right. That does not mean that you are not making the choice, because you're not forced to do this. Okay, you're choosing to do this. I hope you understand the difference between agent and agency. Okay, and at this point, it doesn't sound like you do understand the
Yes,
difference
I
between
do.
it. No, you don't.
Yes,
Because
I
if
do.
you did, we wouldn't be here.
So why?
So there's that.
Why do
So
we
once
need to act on
again,
the agency
once
of white
again,
supremacy?
all right, I'm not saying that they are white supremacists. All right, they're black. They can't be white supremacists, but they can, in fact, be anti-black, and they can work on behalf of white supremacy with the beliefs and the
Hypothetically, let me ask
actions
you
that
this
they
then.
take. I don't deal in hypotheticals, so there's that part.
Well, let me ask
All
you
right,
this then, a
but I can say
non-hypothetical
for a
question. Let me ask
fact
you an actual question.
the FBAs that I have spoken to, again, do have beliefs of a xenophobia, because they do not believe that immigrants should be in this country.
Well,
Okay, go
that's
on.
not. No, I'm an FBA, and I don't necessarily believe that. I
Okay.
believe immigrants should be reviewed in terms of, are they serving a purpose in this country? Is there a net benefit from immigrants being here?
Yes, there is
And
a
I
net
think
benefit.
that's an actual question. That's a quantifiable question the
Yes, there's a
economist
net
should
benefit.
answer, right?
Yeah, there is a net benefit.
Is there? Is
Uh-huh.
there?
Yes, there's a net
Well,
benefit,
when
especially
when Trump
economy.
released that report that says 30 to 70% of immigrant households are collecting some kind of government assistance, we have to really quantify that. Is that actually true? What are their
What
actual
report
costs
is
to this
this?
economy?
What report is this?
When he released that that information on social media, that quantifying the percentage of immigrant
On social
households
media?
that are on government assistance.
Do you
And no
recall what it is?
journalism, no media source actually countered that.
You said what percentage? You said 30 to
As
what?
it ran anywhere from 33% for like Nigerian American households to all the way to 71% for Somali American households.
Mm-hmm. Right on. It's
Collecting
the
government
fair. I think that's the fair report.
It
Right
sounds
on,
like the
brother.
fair report. Yeah, like that's what it
Yep.
sounds like, and that's what I'm trying to make sure. So go on, tell us more, please.
So it's a case where it's a question that should be asked.
No. I want you to tell us more about this
There
report.
may be a net benefit from overall society from immigration. I agree with that. There may be a net benefit there, but for Black Americans, is there a net benefit for us individually, or even for our communities? Are these communities siphoning valuable resources that can go to underprivileged or underserved Black communities? These are viable questions that should be asked. And just to say we're asking the questions, we're agents of somebody who's actually lynched our ancestors, unalived our ancestors, and brutalized our ancestors, and you're claiming that we're agents of them? That's an insult. And you're intellectually dishonest by even posing the question.
You don't want to talk about the stat that you brought up, though? You don't want to talk about that, where you got it from? You just said a social media post, so we're supposed to trust you, bro.
I said it's a social media post from the president, and nobody else actually countered that. No major news media said. Well, who countered it?
The Cato Institute did counter it.
And what did the Cato Institute say? They don't really know where it came from. Yeah. They don't know what those data points are actually meaning.
The data points came from the Center for Immigration Studies is where it came from. It was a study that they published in, don't say right, you didn't know. Don't say right. I hate when y'all do that. Y'all be like, y'all act like y'all actually know stuff, and then you don't know anything. And then when we bring it up, you're like, oh yeah, that's right.
I do actually research these things.
Sure you do. Sure, if you actually do research these things, then what you would know is that immigrants in total, not just undocumented immigrants, but immigrants in total, all right, use 21% less in benefits, all right, than native-born citizens. So we have that part. So you're saying that immigrants shouldn't use any? Do they pay taxes?
They shouldn't come.
Do they pay taxes?
They have no skin in the game.
I'm so sorry. Do they pay taxes?
Of course they pay taxes.
Okay, taxes fund what?
They should be a total benefit for the U.S. economy. There should be any cost.
What
Zero
do taxes
cost.
Fund?
If they're paying 1%, if they're claiming 1% of government assistance, they shouldn't claim any.
Thank you. Get Simhar up to 5,000. Okay, so you're saying that they should pay into. So you want them? Hold on one moment. I'm so sorry because you just keep asking questions. All right, like chill out, like calm down, calm your koofy down, please. All right, you want them to pay into a system that they can't benefit from. That's what you want to do? You don't know what an ad hominem is, so there's that. You don't have to do that, Mize. We're good. All right, he'll behave.
Yeah,
you want them to pay into a system that they won't benefit from. It really sounds like a white person in 1930s America that wanted Black people to pay into a system that we cannot benefit from with the Homeowners Loan Corporation and also the GI Bill and things of that nature. So I'm very concerned as to how you're arguing that you're not an agent of white supremacy when you're proving to us that you are in fact an agent of white supremacy.
No, I'm not at all. I'm just telling you there should be a difference in how immigrants are treated. They shouldn't have the same benefits of American citizens. And yes, if they're going to come here, they're going to generate income. They should pay taxes on the income. They're actually remitting billions of dollars back home to their countries at the same time. So if we have that scenario, they shouldn't be any cost to us. They should be held to a higher standard.
Liv.
I love this because this country paid $170 billion to ICE and fully fund ICE. That's roughly $42 billion a year more than the majority of countries across the world spend on their military for the year. We did that. to federalize the government, to deploy them, to allow for a sitting president to deploy federal agents on U.S. soil that are literally executing human American citizens in the public.
Yeah, I think it's horrible too.
Now,
I totally
listen,
agree
hold
with you.
on. Here's the crazy part. Just talking about fiscal responsibility is that undocumented migrants generate roughly $100 billion, $90 to $100 billion.
That's it?
And documented migrants generate $520 billion.
That's it?
We are on a human rights watch list. That's $500 billion. Your paycheck isn't that.
Right.
They generate $500 billion. Right? Right? Paying into Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, things that American citizens rely on. If you remove that money out of our economy, if you remove those taxes out of our economy, you're going to harm poor and lower class American citizens.
I'm not saying remove it out of the economy.
Hey,
I'm saying let's look at the balance sheet.
You interrupted me. I'm going to finish because I haven't said much, and I'm going to land the plane here and you got it. The United States is on a human rights watch list. To pursue this agenda to target undocumented migrants is decreasing tourism, restaurant tourism, businesses are suffering, agriculture is suffering. The American people are going to be harmed. Middle and lower class Americans who rely on these social programs that migrants pay into federally but don't have access to federally. Right? And you're saying this because you want them to be treated differently. Listen, but you're arguing you're not an agent of white supremacy. Saying that you look at them as second-class citizens. You can't have a first-class society and second-class citizens. That's not how it works. And so what I would argue to you is that it makes more sense, instead of spending $42 billion to remove migrants a year, we spend $25 billion to stop a hunger crisis in this country. Because that will generate $170 billion in productivity, increase our overall GDP, and benefit the American citizen. If it's really about putting black people first, if it's really about putting America first, you wouldn't be degrading migrants. Now I'm getting back to eating my bourbon chicken.
Okay, thank you. I mean, I think that's a good policy. I think I see a lot of good things in that policy. The only thing I can actually say is let's distill it even further, that policy, and let's consider that migrants and illegals and documented people are actually bringing benefits to society. Now, let's draw that out into an actual balance sheet and see what the costs are for these society and do a debit versus credit on that and see what the end result is. I think that's the conversation that should be furthered in this. I think that there's obviously positive things that the immigrants bring to society. They are generating revenue for the society, and they are serving a certain purpose. But let's actually let's have put some controls in place. How many do we really need here? What industries need immigrants? What industries don't need immigrants? We just can't. Well, he came out with some hypotheticals.
I'm so
He came out with hypotheticals in terms
able
of where
to
we should be putting our money.
state or reference any actual numbers in regards to
What
the
in terms of
negatives,
what?
like the net negatives of immigration? Do you have
What the
anything?
net negatives of immigration?
Yeah, like what are the negatives of it?
Well, that's something that we need to actually investigate. I just said that before. I said these are things that we can't have
So
a
you don't have
society
any
where we
data
don't have
that
any
says
measures in
about the
place.
negatives
No,
or anything?
well,
You don't have anything.
obviously, are costing cities and stuff,
So
cities and
this
in municipalities actual funds because they're actually servicing and taking care of these people when they come
Okay.
here with no money.
So
So
is
there's
this
a
all about
cost
the
there.
I just want to make sure something here, B1.
Yeah,
I
well,
just want to make sure
if you
something.
want
Is this
if
just
you
all
want
about your
delineated,
feelings?
tangible numbers.
Okay, be quiet. I want to know something. Is this all about the feelings? All right, your
No,
feelings?
it's not
Because,
about the
well, then
feelings,
you would
miss.
have numbers to actually back up, okay, that they are in fact costing the American people more money than they actually bring
let me
in, because
respond
then
here.
you would be able to have an
Give me
argument
15 seconds.
against immigration. But you
Give
don't
me
have any
15
number. I'm
seconds.
talking.
Give me 15
I'm talking.
seconds.
If you stop talking, then maybe I can give you your 15 seconds. But you got to stop talking first, love, and allow me to finish. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so the thing is that you don't have any empirical data no stats or anything of that nature to show that the undocumented immigrant is a negative on the U.S. public, the U.S. government, on society as a whole. You don't have that information. All right. You know why you don't have it? Because it doesn't exist and it's not true. All right. They've been nothing but a positive, especially on our economy, and paying upwards of $100 billion in taxes. That's across local, state, and federal. And it doesn't even take into account what they pay just by renting a home or even owning a home. All right, via property taxes. It doesn't take that into account. It does not take into effect the account that what they spend about we'll lose over $1 trillion in our GDP if the immigrant was gone from the United States of America. All right, we have to think about their spending power that they have. We have to think about the services in which they provide.
You just said it doesn't exist. You said you don't really know the cost.
Actually, yeah,
you don't know the cost.
Actually, I do know the cost. Yeah, I know the positive.
You don't know the full cost, miss.
I said you don't know the negative. I'm speaking of the positives. All right, they're different. But thank you for proving the background. Actually, yes, they are. Liv, excuse me. Shut up. Liv, are negatives and positives different? I might need to go back to 4th grade a little bit.
But you're distilling FBA down to immigration, and it's so much more than that.
Objectively different. Okay, there we go.
Objectively different. Also, mind if I got the big screen really quick?
Sure.
Because at this point, like, we just disagree and we're at an impasse. Immigration dominating politics. The Boston University economist shows that immigration boosts local wages. That's for American citizens, native-born citizens, black folk.
I can agree with that. I have said that
they
before.
boost native wages and decrease racial prejudice, racism. And so what we see...
Decrease racial prejudice?
Yeah.
How do they quantify that?
Okay. When you expand... Listen, okay, let me explain something to you. When you expand the ethnic food aisle at the grocery store, right? You start diversifying the seasonings that people use in their day-to-day cooking. Yeah. Those seasonings become less absurd and more normative, right? Like, you have never heard of white people in Europe eating chicken tikka masala.
Okay.
But when you introduce a large Indian population, right? Chicken tikka masala becomes England's national dish, right?
So England is less racist because immigration. Is that what you're saying?
Go back to eating my bourbon chicken.
Is that what you're saying? England is less racist because of immigration?
No. What I'm arguing to you, listen, the precursor to bigotry is ignorance. That when you don't know something, the default position becomes bigoted, right? And so when you expose people to different ethnicities, when you normalize different ethnicities, different nationalities, different cultures, that these things stop becoming the obscure and the unknown, which people fear, and they become the norm.
Where is that provable? Because populations in Europe right now, when they increase a certain immigration population gets above a certain percentage point, white supremacist organizations pop up.
Yes.
So it has an aggravated effect on the economy.
One second.
On the society.
Think about what you just said.
Because as brown and black people, we don't care about the white supremacists. That they want to create a white supremacist society and social hierarchy that places white people.
No. You said that immigration decreases racism. Let me give me an example of that.
Yes. When you increase the amount of brown and black people in this country, you decrease the amount
racism.
Of white people.
You decrease the amount of white people?
And only white people can be racist. So if you
that makes absolutely no sense. Society, you're trying to say you're decreasing racism by adding brown people to the country. That makes no sense at all.
For example,
I'm just saying
for example.
Go ahead. Another asinine example. Go ahead.
Okay. When brown and black children in the school industry are taught by 85% white people, they view white people as authority, right? They view themselves as lesser than, right? But when it's black people in these positions, they view themselves in those positions. That when the black man is president, black children can see themselves as president, right? That makes sense?
Yes, that makes sense, is seeing yourself. So respectability politics and visibility actually decreases racism, what you're saying. It has
No,
nothing to do with
understanding and
immigration, I hope you
education.
know. It has nothing to do with immigration, I hope you know.
Normalcy, education, and acceptance of that which is different is what decreases racism.
That has nothing to do with immigration.
It does.
That black
Because
people
when you're
being
okay
more
as a black
visible
person,
and teaching jobs is just a natural progression of black progress.
when you are okay as a black person watching the treatment of brown people in this country, that is likened to the treatment
Nobody's
of
okay
people.
with
That is
anybody
likened
being
to
treated
one
poorly.
second. Hold on, 1 second, friend. That is likened to the treatment of black people at the Edmund Pettus Bridge. I would argue that you're morally unjust, and I'm not even the one to argue that. You know who said that? Martin Luther King.
You're putting ideas in my head. I have no
Martin
issue.
Luther King gave me that idea.
I have no respect for how ICE is carrying things out.
Okay.
I don't like their tactics. I'll
So if
say
you
that
wouldn't want
straight
it for
up.
yourself, how are you okay with it
But that
happening
has
to brown
nothing to do
people?
with FBA.
Okay, wait 1 second though, because you said you want migrants being treated differently. Now they're being treated differently than you and black people.
That has nothing to
and
do
now
with
you're
being
saying that you
FBA.
disagree with it.
There's
Hold
nothing
on.
to do with
I'm
it being
just saying that
FBA.
you.
Let's
that
get
you
back to
kinda-
what the topic is.
Okay, listen, but you said you want them being treated differently than you. That they are different than you. And
I
when
said
they
they'd be
when they
held
are
to a
given,
higher standard because they're
friend.
newly into
And
this
then when
country.
hold on, friend. Wait, listen.
Why are we
And then
being
when
so
they are
angry?
treated differently than
You told
and
me to
you
hold
see
on,
how
but
they-
you're mixing.
hold on,
You're
man.
not
Look,
hearing my
man.
words properly.
I'm not finna keep doing this. I'm not finna.
Let's stop over talking, like one person at a time. Also, I don't have that much longer. I told y'all I was not here for a long time. I'll likely be hanging out with Hector later, but because I got to get my baby. So there's that. So YouTube, one moment, Liv, one moment, friend. Manny, what was it? You said you wanted to come up. Flowers.
Yeah,
Okay.
flowers. So I was in Maddie's live.
Uh-huh.
We were looking for Maga. No one was coming up. Go figure. There was a person that we thought, because they didn't have a PFP, they came up. He was an older black man, older gentleman, 82 years old, Louisiana. He said that he loves to listen to you. He stays up waiting to listen to you. I just saw Matt as well. Stays up listening to Matt and stays up and waits for Santana as well. You three are his biggest content creators at 82 years old in Louisiana.
82 years old. That's fucking awesome.
82 years old in Louisiana. He loves listening to specifically you three. So he went in. That's what he when he came up, and he was telling us all about Reagan was bullshit and destroyed the country, and he was going up. You know how old folks are. They got secrets. They got secrets. They when you ask an 82-year-old about politics, they got some awesome stories.
They do.
But yeah, I just wanted to let you know. I know I saw Matt in here. I was looking for Matt, and I don't think Santana goes live at night. So yeah,
that's pretty
awesome.
awesome.
Say anything about Hector? I don't know. But
amazing.
But
Matt's
yeah, I wanted
awesome.
to let you know.
Hector's amazing. Freaking awesome.
Yeah, so he loves listening to you guys. He specifically named you, Santana, and Matt.
Awesome. All right, cool.
That's all.
Thank you so much
I
for
just want to
sharing
give you those
that,
flowers.
Manny. I appreciate you, love.
Yeah.
Not him running. He
Oh,
ran.
my bad.
Not
Was
the
that
skedaddle.
too much positivity? I'm
I
sorry.
think so. I think so. I don't know, but it's okay. But thank you so much, Manny, for coming up, love. You have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Y'all draw some hearts in the chat for Manny. All right. If you see him in the comments, make sure you give him a follow because Manny is the immigration expert. So definitely do that. Hey, Itchy.
Hello there, love.
How are you?
I'm good. What up, Liv?
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
What it do, brother?
So let me see here.
Gang banging.
Gang banging and crip walking. What they know what they say?
Yep. Gang bang.
Okay, there we go.
So was that an FBA?
Yeah, that was an FBA. That's who we're talking to. That's who we're talking to.
It was the comment that brought me up, and FBA say we're not going nowhere, all of these things. And I got to thinking. I say, FBA, what they've attached themselves to is conservatism.
Mm-hmm.
And if conservatism isn't going anywhere, I mean, if conservatism isn't winning, that means that FBA's not winning. They tied themselves to a sinking ship, and the idea that they're not going anywhere is, I think it's poetic, because you're right. You're not going anywhere. You don't have any politicians to point at and say, hey, look at that FBA guy. You don't have any legislation. You don't have any representation. The Trump administration didn't select you to be in his administration or to have meetings or put you out front. So, I mean, you're right. You're not going anywhere. I think it's poetic that y'all think that you're here to stay and that you're not going anywhere, because you're right. You're not going anywhere.
That part. I want them to come up here and just be honest, because like all of them are just like lying tonight. Like they're lying, Tom. So I don't have anything against the immigrant, and then start being a xenophobic. All right, then try to talk about like how they don't ascribe to conservatism, but want to talk shit about the darn like Democrats. And I'm like, well, we're not talking about party affiliation here. We're literally talking about ideology, what you believe in. I honestly think it's a movement without a leader. It's a movement without any structure. It's just a bunch of people walking around based in their own hate, because someone told them to hate a specific group of people, and that's all they got. It's like the blind leading the blind here. And none of them can eloquently state what it is that they actually believe in. And so that's where we get at. But I really do. What's your name? Be Rich. I'm going to give you like, you got like 1 minute.
I want 30 seconds. I want a little bit even less than that.
Go ahead. You got it.
But I kind of just wanted to carry on the points that you were going with, and kind of just kind of divulge a little bit deeper into that, and just kind of let everybody know that it's really a bigger rabbit hole than it seems to be. And this is kind of like the surface of everything. And like, if we really did want to get in depth, like we could really take it to the points of where Bibi Netanyahu and everyone else really controls this entire world and really scopes and makes all the moves we do. I mean, we donated 178 billion in the past 3 years to Israel, and nobody talks about that. They don't care about that. They don't understand that these are the same people that are milking all of these other countries that we continue to invade and steal and loot from. They don't really care about that. They care about the statistics that they're pushing in your face, so you don't mind all the files and all the other stuff that the people have going on right now. But that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, it is a distraction. And then you have conservative pundits actually pushing the idea of FBA and giving it like legitimacy within white America. Yikes. And it's because FBA believes in some of the same things that they believe in as pretty much white supremacists. All right, they believe in that this land should be for those born here, but the difference between the two is that they believe, like white America, they believe that it should just be for white people. All right, whereas FBA is like, no, it should just be for people who are born here, you know. And so that's why I'm like, they're not for you. Also, the conservative does not believe in reparations at all. They don't believe in reparations. All right. And they think that some way, somehow aligning themselves with conservatism is going to bring about those reparations that they so desperately want. And it's not. All right. They'd be better off actually working with the Black immigrant and, of course, the brown migrant to come together to dismantle this system of white supremacy. Then we can look into reparations. But until then, I got to go. I gotta go pick my baby up. I might come back later tonight for like some TikTok chaos, but I gotta go. I don't want to come up on my backup because Liv keeps teacupping, so I don't know what Liv is doing. And Itchy, are you here for a minute?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, Liv, would you two mind running the show?
Yeah, we can run the show.
You can run the show because this is gonna be empty, and I'm just gonna be here on my backup.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
You got it.
Okay. All right. Bet. And guys, I need you all to get Simhar up to 5,000 coins, guys. Let's get Simhar up to 5,000. She's less than 800 away. Let's go ahead and do that. All right. I'll join on my backup and then we'll go from there. But okie dokie. Okay, you guys got it.
I don't know the type of people that Erica's gonna let up on her panel. So I mean, Liv, you got to be here too, bro.
Oh, I'm here. I'm here.
You paid the big money.
I'm here. I'm here. I just, it's FBA. It's FBA.
And I don't think there's nothing wrong with you claiming or wanting to be a FBA, of course, but definitely working for the other side and not even knowing that.
Yeah, you're right, bro. I'm pretty sure at this point she'd probably drop you down and appreciate you for coming up. And you were 100% correct. We're gonna keep the show rolling though. Who's this new guy? Intelligent, or I can't see his name. Intelligent. Welcome to the panel.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me up. I am a FBA. I definitely disagreed with quite a lot of what was being said. Number one, we're not aligned with anybody but ourselves. That's what I would just like to get out there. And also, we're not a group. Tariq Nasheed is definitely not my leader. So just to put those things out there, right?
So y'all just rebels without a cause.
No, we're not rebels without a cause, right? This is the beginning of us kind of finding ourselves around our lineage. That's what it is.
He says the beginning.
Yeah, it's the beginning because look, I'll tell you why. I was a Pan-Africanist for most of my life.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
Hey, Liv, are you still here too?
I don't know what's going on with this damn phone. For some reason, my thing is stuck. Excuse me if I can't. Yeah. No, I was a Pan-Africanist for most of my life. I come from the first Pan-African city in America. My elder went to college with the first Pan-African president of Ghana. Who I still talk to this day. This is a needed shift because the diaspora is they're watching out for themselves, and we need to watch out for ourselves.
And you're all being directed by conservative white men.
I'm not being directed by any of. To be honest, if you knew me and my people, that would be the last thing you would say. White supremacists
knowingly or unknowingly. That's where.
No, it's not. First of all, I'm too intelligent for that, brother.
Hold on. So again, whether knowingly or unknowingly, the only support and power that you're giving is to conservative white men.
No. See, I don't agree with that because
I didn't ask you what you agree with. We're going with factual information.
That's what I'm going with. Factual information.
Hey, bro, calm down. We can sing together. We can't talk together.
Okay.
There's a pecking order in here.
All right.
So that means when you hear my voice, I don't hear yours.
Okay. All right.
So again, everything that you've aligned yourself with in the last 10 years, and I'm not talking about you specifically because I don't know you, but what I know is that your movement has done nothing but divide black people and give more power to racist white men. That's what I know to be facts.
Oh, that's 100% correct. I agree with that. That's a necessary evil.
Okay, so and in the last 10 years, what we've also noticed is that black people have been hip to your game. Now, whether intentionally or ill-intentional, you've given your power or lent your power, your vote to racist white people. And hold on. We identify that you, as an FBA, are detrimental to our community. We are now moving accordingly because you and your movement aren't welcome in our communities, if you hadn't noticed.
That's great.
You're not growing.
And you're not welcome in my community.
You're not growing.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, I totally agree. I don't want to be aligned with people that don't watch out for each other.
So long as we know.
That's 100% correct. I only like people that like me.
Yeah. And we're good with that. And we only like black people who are there to protect the interests of black people. And you're not. You're there to
I'm there to protect the
interests
of black Americans. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, of you. You have individual ideologies. And
that's correct.
Your individual ideologies weaken us as a whole.
I don't think you can weaken something that was already weak.
What?
Yeah.
What? Hey, in the last 56 years, my nigga, we've gone from indentured, well, not indentured service, but what's that? Sharecroppers to president in 66 years.
Well, technically, an immigrant went to president, not one of
technically he was from Hawaii, so that's not an immigrant. That's a United States.
Yeah, well, I'm saying he's half white.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, it
half,
doesn't matter when you get pulled
half,
over.
and half Kenyan, so he ain't one of my people.
So again,
and he acted accordingly.
No one said that he was FBA. Nobody said that. I didn't say that. Did you hear me say that?
You said.
But what I did say is that my black son on that morning, I was able to wake up and actually not lie to my child, like most black parents have to when they tell their children that they could be anything. There was representation. I could show him a black man that actually was the president of the United States. That's something that your father never thought that he'd see.
I cannot disagree with that, but still don't change who the man was.
So again, I didn't say he was FBA. It's irrelevant to me. Do I understand the difference? Absolutely. That means if a reparation check came, there's nobody named Obama that would get one, president or not.
Yeah.
I hate you dumb niggas. Hey, Liv, are you still here, bro?
Liv, yeah, I'm up here.
Oh ahead, my bro. God, you hate us, huh?
I think it was niggas like y'all that got Fred Hampton killed, unalive.
No, it was a traitor. You know what I mean? That got Fred Hampton killed, who killed himself. If you want to be
unalive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Excuse me. Unalived himself.
But who told him where they was at? It was a black man.
It was a traitor. You have traitors all over the place. You got tons of people that only worry about themselves. Yeah, that's nothing new. I mean, it doesn't matter who he was. There's millions of black people that are no earthly good. Millions of whites, millions of Asians, all of them are traitors. I mean, there's tons.
I think that black people that stand alongside white supremacists and white nationalists.
I never do that. never have, never will. It's the opposite with me and mine.
Okay. How so?
100%.
How so?
Oh, I don't. Well, not being graphic here, but
please don't be graphic. Hold on, please don't.
Yeah, it's the opposite. I just put it like this: as far as you can go, me and mine that went that far against white supremacy. My people been here since the 1600s.
Mine have to.
Yeah, I'm from Texas, so if you know, my grandmother is 98 years old. You know, born in 1927.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Hey, so Harriet Tubman, are you a Trump supporter?
Hell no, of course not.
Okay, but do you agree with mass deportation?
I don't care.
Okay, all right. And so here becomes my problem. You're just agnostic in the suffering of other people.
No, I'm not agnostic. Look, I'm gonna tell you.
So listen, hear me out. Is that as black people, we wouldn't want people having dogs and hoses and to be brutalized by the federal government at the Edmund Pettus Bridge.
I totally agree.
Okay, so right now, I would care if brown people are being bullied and harassed by the police, because I wouldn't want that for black people. I'm not going to stand idly by and watch it happen to another group of people. And if you're agnostic in that, it means you're okay in their suffering. It means that you understand that it's happening, right? And you're not willing to stop it. You're not willing to voice your opinion saying that it's wrong. That to me is diabolical. You like the vast majority of rural white America.
I'm listening. Go ahead. Let me know when I can respond. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you know in just a moment. All right, guys, it is 500 people up in here. I'm going to need you all to keep tapping that screen. Don't get complacent just because I'm not in front of you, okay? I'm here. I'm watching, okay? Big sister is watching. So let's keep tapping the screen. Let's get the likes up to 250,000 likes. Continue to share and repost the live. I can't change the gift goal, so let's go ahead and knock out those stars, all right? Also, be sure to take care of Livingston down at the bottom there. Do all of the good things. And make sure you take care of
fine ass. Oh, I was supposed to say that out loud. My bad. Make sure you take care of Mr. Itchy, okay? Take care of Itchy while he's here. Don't embarrass me. He don't come around often now. All right. So do the good things. All right. And Simhar, my love, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and let you down, but thank you again for being here, love. I hope you have a great day. Take care. And also, guys, if you are FBA, go ahead and make sure that you get in the box so that we can have this conversation and just simply behave yourselves. Behave yourselves, no over talking, none of that loud stuff. I ain't got time for it. All right. With that being said, thank you all so much for being here. Links are in the bio. Everything with Erica is the name. PayPal and Venmo also have a Zelle. Everything with Erica9@gmail.com is the best way to support the stream. And if you're over on the tube, you can send a super chat. Thank you all for everything that you do because everything is appreciated and most definitely accepted. I'm going back on mute. Thank you. Okay. The floor is yours. Either Liv or
Yeah, I just, I,
Dude.
I was gonna land. I landed playing with this. That like, bro, like you saying that you're agnostic, you don't care. You're just like those racist white people in rural America.
Let me explain something to you, right? When you're talking about groups of people that are historically and currently anti-black, right? When you're talking about I spent a majority of my life in California, so I have extensive history in dealing with Latinos from when they moved. I'm a little bit older, from when they moved into our neighborhoods to the current state now, right? So it's been my experience and all the experience of the people that I know that live in California is anti-blackness as a culture. I'm not talking about I have a bunch of Latino friends that are good to me, but their culture is anti-black and they watch out for themselves. That's why I'm focused on watching out for myself, right? Do I agree with what they're doing? No.
You got issues.
I don't have no issues. No, I'm a man in full, man. You know what I mean?
I said you got it itchy.
I got a what?
Yeah, no, he was talking to me.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm pretty sure I'm just as old as you, probably older.
Yeah, you're probably older, maybe a little bit.
And I remember when the Latinos first started drifting down here to North Carolina. Relationships were decent. Now I won't speak for California and I won't speak for Texas because actually in the grand scheme of things, we moved into their country. So I'm not even going to get into that argument there. What I'm going to talk about is if the majority of black people live in the South and I live in the South, I'm going to talk about when they integrated into our communities. Relationships were pretty good. We did things, they did things, relationships got bad while white people collected on all the money.
Now, that's what happened in California.
Yeah, I mean, but you can read between the lines however you choose to. But that relationship was an economic relationship that everybody profited off of. And the end goal was white folk got all the money. Regardless, they ended up with all the money. So it's never been in our interest to not get along because dividing us is the way they stay in power. And them staying in power is not beneficial to any of us. Now, I told you that as president of the United States, if reparation was given, Barack Obama would not have qualified for that. But if a Barack Obama, a Malcolm X, a Marcus Garvey, if any of these people who come from a place where they've experienced the same thing from colonizers can push us forward, then goddamn it, why are y'all separating us from people who have the same experience? That makes zero sense to me. As a matter of fact, it's idiotic when all of our problems stem from the same thing, Europeans.
Would you like me to respond to that? So, first of all, there's a big difference between one of my favorite people on earth is the Caribbean. That's Minister Farrakhan, right? I admire Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Stokely Carmichael, right? Dr. Ben Yakima, right? These are all my master teachers, right? Those are people that are aligned with B1, Black First. Those people are my brothers, right? Obama was not aligned with black people, and it showed in his policies, right? So this is what I want you to understand. Now, I don't know if there's a lot of kooky people that say they FBA and think they're. Let me finish here. There's a lot of.
I don't need your speech because you're not recruiting me. I need you made.
No,
you
I'm
made
not.
a
I'm not
positive
recruiting
claim.
any. I'm
You made
answering
a
your
positive
question.
claim, black man. What I need you to do is speak on that. I need you to speak on the policies and what Barack Obama did that was not beneficial to black people.
Okay, I'll tell you number one, the Blue Lives Matter law, right? Refusing to prosecute police that were killing black people, right? When Eric Holder was the head of his Justice Department, right?
Yeah.
A lot of his anti-terrorist things were very un-American and could have opened us up to opened up doors that would have just been directed at black people, right? I can go on, right? He never did anything specifically for us. I'm not talking about FBI. I'm talking about black people, right? In the way you're talking about it.
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
Okay.
What I can tell you is what he did specifically for black people. One morning you woke up and your credit score was better because he specifically got rid of all of those predatory lending places. Now, I can't say you have ever been through that, but if you ever went to one of those schools or your girl ever went to one of those schools that wasn't accredited, guess what? He got rid of that lien against her credit. If you've ever had to borrow or go into one of those payday loan places and take a loan out, you might not have, but one of your cousins definitely have. Guess what? That motherfucker woke up one morning and his credit score was better because Obama specifically did that for black people. He couldn't say, guess what, I'm going to do this for black people because that would be against the law. But guess what? You make policy and legislation in the aims that is going to specifically, and I keep saying this fucking word, specifically help a group of people.
Now, I don't argue with that because that is true. You can target certain demographics based upon, like what you just said. Now, what I'm saying is he could have put his Justice Department on those police officers that unalive these black people, but he chose not to do it. He did not have to pass the Blue Lives Matter law, right?
Bro, let me tell you
there was a lot of things that he did
after 2010. And see, this is where you niggas get it twisted. After 2010, and this is before Donald Trump came in and broke our democracy. After 2010, Barack Obama had very little to no power because we didn't go back and vote again. We didn't vote in midterms to ensure that he had the House and the Senate. And for 6 years, not 2, not 4, 6 years, for 6 years, he had to claw and scrape against a conservative House and Senate. Literally, bro, y'all do not know how the government works.
I'm very well aware how the government works. What I'm saying is what he could have done that would have benefited us, he did not do.
But this is the host speaking. But Obama actually did, though. Obama signed the Fair Sentencing Act? I can't recall the exact name. It was the second. Yeah, the Fair Sentencing Act. And in signing that into place, what he did was, if you recall the disparity in the sentencing between the powder and the hard, where it was 1-to-1. Yeah. So 100-to-1, Obama reduced that amount. He wanted it to take it down to it be even, but again, he had to get this legislation passed. And so it still sits today at, for the hard is 18 for every 1 gram of the powder. Instead of being 1-to-100 is 8, not 1-to-100, is 18-to-1. Yeah, 18? So yeah, it's 18. So he knocked it down significantly. Also with that, they were able to release thousands of black people from prison because of the change in the sentencing laws. So he helped people. He did. Also, Obama did, in fact, try to help in regards to the unfortunate unalivings that did take place. But you have to ask yourself, what could he have done in regards to Trayvon Martin? Trayvon Martin happened in the state of Florida, all right, that was already not just against him, but they already had pressed charges. So, like, what did you want his Department of Justice to do?
I could tell you
And,
specifically what I would want
and
it. What?
hold on, answer that
Okay.
question. But then
Yeah.
also, whoever has access to their second device, because I don't, and of course I can't. What I'm going the wrong goddamn way. What I need you to do for me is I need for you to look up like Barack Obama's response to Mike Brown. Please, thank
And
you.
that's
Now,
what I
what
was
I
gonna
would have liked
say.
to seen him
That's
to.
what I was gonna say to bro. Hold on 1 second, bro. On some real shit, you got to think about it. When Barack Obama, the one thing the conservatives say that he did do, they say he divided the country, bro, and they say he divided the country because he gave humanity to a young man that was a black man by saying that he could have been my child. That one statement alone, coming from the president of the United States of America, was enough for half, if not the majority, of conservatives right now today to say that Barack Obama was the most divisive president in American history because his skin was black.
No, I totally agree because when I debate with conservatives, they don't even know half of the conservative stuff that he's done. Right? He's when you look at his record, he's one of the most conservative presidents ever. But to answer the question, I totally agree with what you said. Right? But to answer the question, he should have brought up what's that piece of garbage name? George Zimmerman up on violating his constitutional rights. That's what he should have done. Right? That's what I would have liked to see him done. But that's neither here nor there. But let's just get back to the prompt. What I just wanted to say.
I get that, bro. But let me say this before because you brought it up. You do know George Zimmerman's father was a white judge, right? He was a white man. He was a judge, right?
I didn't know that. That's new information to me.
Yeah, his father was a judge, man. So I mean, at the end of the day, you got to think about it. This is not only the first black president of the United States; he's the president of the United States, and for him to have gotten off on state charges, and for the feds that picked it up and to have convicted that man, a judge's son, bro, there's nuances to this. Go ahead, Lil, my fault.
I have no more campaigns to run. My only agenda.
Well, I don't think this is it. You got the wrong one.
Because I won both of them.
Hello? Are we still here?
My bad, that's the wrong one.
We're still here.
Okay.
Keep tapping the screen, keep sharing the live, keep doing all the good things, guys. Thank you.
Now, I just want to get out to you, right? Like this is the most important thing that I want to get out to people that don't understand the sane FBA movement. I'm not, there's millions of people that align themselves with FBA. Some of them are various mental states, as we saw earlier. You know what I mean? But what I want to get out here, it's not anti-immigrant, right? It's what we are about. We are about working amongst ourselves to build ourselves up and those that want to work with us. That's it and that's all. For too long, we have extended ourselves, extended our bodies. When I say this, I'm talking about Black Americans, extended our intellectual property, stood up for people in groups that have turned their back on us, right? You know what I mean? So, and this is coming from a person who was a Pan-Africanist for well over 30 years, who was taught nothing but Pan-African principles, by real Pan-Africanists, by people that changed their names from American names. Almost Sally White, who was my master teacher, his name wasn't originally Almost Sally White, So what I'm saying is the real FBA movement is about bringing Black Americans together and doing positive things and embracing the people that embrace us. And the ones that don't embrace us, regardless of their skin color, they're our enemies and they should be treated as such. No more flat blackness. That's what FBA is to me.
All right. Since nobody else is gonna speak, I'm not even gonna say I disagree with everything that you said, But what I will say, and I'm just going to stick on things that I can prove. What I will say is that your movement has isolated you. And when I say you, I'm not talking about you personally. It's isolated a swath of African Americans that did not have to isolate themselves. And your pride won't let you see it. And your pride comes before your fall. I've told you, there's no way that you should have found yourself aligning politically with Klansmen. Your movement can't be righteous enough to have aligned yourself with Klansmen. I get it. There are things that can be handled better. There are situations that we should identify and focus on. But there's nothing in your ideology before this movement of you digging your heels in that would have ever allowed you to align yourself with Klansmen. I keep saying this shit because I need you to realize and understand that you've aligned yourself with Klansmen. I don't understand this nationalist movement that y'all have taken and embarked upon because it's aligned you with fucking Klansmen.
May I respond to that? So what I'm going to say about that, right? Anybody can take talking points and use them to their advantage, right? Now, if you're referring to what's going on in Florida with Byron Donalds or some of those situations along those lines, right? Of course, what we're saying, they can cherry pick and use to their advantage. There is no alignment. There will never, from the people that I associate with, be alignment with any form of white supremacy ever.
Let me ask you a question right now. Let me ask you a question.
Okay, I'm listening.
Question that I got to ask you is, for the most part, FBA, are you not voting conservative?
Well, I can't speak for,
are you not voting and promoting voting conservatively?
No, see, the people that I align myself with, we're issue-based voters.
I don't, yeah, okay. I don't care about your, listen.
What I'm saying is, listen, there is no.
Hey.
No, FBA.
I told you.
I'm so sorry. Hey, I have a question. I do have a question. You've probably already been asked this question, but intelligence. Who did you vote for?
I voted for Kamala Harris.
You voted for Kamala? Okay,
yeah.
All right, bet. Go ahead, Itchy.
Can I? I just want to take a quick commercial break. 485 people in here. Let's power tap that screen. Let's get it to 300,000 likes. 300,000 likes. Tap the screen, share the live. Do all the good things. Does that sound good? Was that right? No? Share the live out. Make sure we repost it. When y'all get a chance, I couldn't find that Obama clip. But I found
more bass in your voice.
Yeah. Do all the good things.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. If y'all don't mind, like I got like a 60-second clip. I couldn't find the Obama one, but I did find this one. Is that cool?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm all for it.
My friends, a nation does not fall when it is attacked from the outside. It falls when it forgets what it owes to one another. History teaches us that civilizations do not collapse in moments of noise, but in seasons of moral drift, when conscience grows tired, when truth becomes negotiable, and when fear is allowed to speak louder than wisdom. I come before you not to condemn America, but to call her back. There was a time, not perfect but principled, when disagreement did not require hatred, when difference did not demand distance, and when strength was measured not by dominance, but by restraint. We once believed that character outweighed color, that faith could coexist without fear, that liberty was incomplete unless it belonged to all. Our debates were sharp, but our bonds were sharper.
I don't find anything wrong with that.
Okay, fantastic. Alvin, up top, do you disagree with the background? Someone send Alvin a request to unmute, please.
Hey, I was on mute. Damn it.
God damn it, Liv, you gotta stop doing that.
I was talking that whole time.
I came up by mistake, Kiana.
I'm not Kiana.
I'm sorry, Eric. I follow all y'all. Eric,
Okay, all right. Much love. Have a great night, love.
all right.
So my bad. I was over here responding. I was on mute. My bad.
Liv, is that a white person in the request? Like, why do we have a white person in the request wanting to talk about FBA?
Yeah, that's
Are you judging me upon my race?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you judging me upon my race?
Am I judging you upon your race? I would like to know what can you actually provide to this conversation, considering that we are saying FBA, foundational Black Americans, are agents of white supremacy. So what can you contribute to this convo as a white person?
Well, the only thing I'd say is the white supremacy is being created, white nationalism is being created by you guys. So your hatred among your hatred.
Yeah, tell us more.
Your hatred among white people.
Who gives a fuck? Goodbye. What the fuck are we doing here? All right.
Clown.
Only request up if you are a foundational Black American. All right. Like, what you thought this was, Liv? Like, come on, be serious. Only request up if you are a foundational Black American. That's the only people we're looking to talk to. Request up if you're a foundational Black American. That's it. Keep doing all the good things, guys.
I just wanted to address what you guys were saying earlier, right? Now, you may feel this way. Now, one of the things that I wanted to get out there, you have a bunch of people that espouse a lot of stuff that's just simply not true, right? But when you get into the true essence of what the majority of foundational Black Americans are pushing for, which is solidarity amongst our people and solidarity amongst people of African descent that are B1. That is what the essence of FBA is, and I just wanted to put that out there. All this other stuff that you guys are talking about, I don't agree with at all, right? So,
well, your voice.
Go ahead, Ichi.
Yeah, I was just gonna say your voice is quiet in the FBA movement, bro. If y'all want some type of solidarity, your voice needs to be the loudest voice in the room. Because right now, the people that are the loudest voices in the room have y'all divided with no support.
No, I agree. I totally agree with you. You have a lot of people that the internet has not done anything good for their mental health or emotional health. I totally agree. And I don't know how you go about fixing that because you can't change anything. But I just want to let you know that the real essence of FBA, where it originally started, what it's about, is a lineage that just seeks to bring us together and bring us together with the B1 population of African descent. It's not anti-immigrant.
My thing is, and I'm gonna be honest with you at this point in time, it sounds like to me you need to be arguing with your peoples, because right now the loudest people in the room, the people that are speaking for y'all, are on some conservative. The only way we gonna move in this country is with xenophobia and homophobia and all of these phobias, and you become real Europeanized.
Yeah, well, I don't agree with any of that.
No. I need you to stop arguing with me, start arguing with your peoples.
Well, anytime I'm in an FBA space that is ran by FBA, I espouse the same beliefs. I don't support any of these things. And I'll just say, like I said, I don't get into the lineage arguments. So you'll just know where I stand on that, right? Because I don't know if your people are indigenous or where they came from and all that stuff. So I leave all that stuff alone, right? I'm West African, 90%, right? Me personally, I'm descended from Africa. I don't get into any of that, we're indigenous and all of that type of stuff because I can't speak on that, right? But I know the people that you're talking about, and I do voice my opinions about that stuff when I'm in the spaces, right? But I don't, I'm an old man, so I don't carry that much weight.
Hold on, boss. Hold on. Talk to the host and to live. Hey, Erica, I know that you run a certain type of
Just do
environment.
it. Sure.
I don't know if I'm built for this, and Liv's not helping right now, so I don't know what to, because I'm getting.
I don't know what you want me to do.
I'm getting irritated.
He's not understanding what it is that you're trying to say. Like you're having this conversation with us, and what you're doing is you're presenting a different side of FBA that I will say for me, I have never come into contact with. All right. I ain't gonna hold you. No, you'd be surprised.
This is the original FBA, Erica. This is what he's spewing is original FBA fundamental information. But I'm getting irritated because he's in here arguing with us instead of
I know
arguing
when
with
he
these
should be
people
going.
who's
Yes,
hijacking.
like because he said it himself. He said that he doesn't get into the lineage arguments and whatnot, but the people who come here and go to other FBA spaces do get into those
Oh yeah, I
arguments.
totally
They
agree with that.
do tout that hate. They do, they do espouse the xenophobic rhetoric. They do espouse the conservative of white supremacy. I think that, I don't know. So you know these things, but when you hear it, are you calling it out?
Oh, I don't participate in any of that. I
Oh
don't
fudge! I'm going
participate.
back on mute, guys.
I don't participate as just a general rule. I don't believe in racism. I don't believe in any of that type of stuff. I
Wait,
never,
what?
even before it was FBA, I would call out black people on that because I'm just not with that. I was not raised that way. I'm not, will never align myself with oppressor or do anything to anybody that I don't want done to me. That's just not how I was raised. So yeah, I do not associate with people like that and put myself into situations along those lines, right? But like I said, there's millions of people out here. I don't have control over those people. But like I said before, I'm not hiding. I will say this in front of anybody. I've said it in many FBA spaces, right? You know what I mean? Now, everybody's entitled to their own foolishness, like my grandfather used to say, right? There's nothing you can do about that. Me personally, right? I don't have any problems with Africans, right? You know what I mean? They were always taught that they were my people. I do have problems with anti-black people, right? Now, what you want me to do, right? I'm already doing, but I doubt if it has an effect because especially young people, and most of the people on these apps are young people. They have their own mind, and a lot of them were not schooled the way I was schooled. You know what I mean? So I can't control those type of things, but I do agree with you that as a black person, you should not be engaging in xenophobia. You should not be engaging in any form of anti-blackness based upon where an African is from, a person of African descent is from. You should not be punching down upon lesser people. The only thing that you should be doing is defending your people and defending yourself against those that don't have your best interests at heart. Full stop. So that's where I've been at all my life. And the reason why I became an FBA is because what I have seen, there's been a development of cultures amongst some of the diaspora, amongst a lot of the ethnic groups that are anti-Black American. So I didn't see a benefit and embracing my former beliefs of flat blackness. You know what I mean? I didn't see a benefit in trying to align myself with other marginalized groups when they're turning on us, right? That's why I moved over to the FBA, right? So, you know, and that's pretty much where I'm at, you know.
Swan, you can jump in at any time, love.
What's your name? Intelligent. What can I call you?
You just call me intelligent crime.
Okay. When you said you don't believe in racism, what did you mean by that?
I don't believe in black people committing racism against other people that are not black. I don't believe in racism that way.
Oh, well, I mean, it would be impossible. We've never created like a system or structure that would negatively impact the material conditions of
Well,
another group of people.
I understand that argument, but I look at it upon a more I look at it upon a more individual basis of doing something to somebody just based upon their skin color, right? That's the way I look at it. I understand your argument about the systems, and that's valid, but I'm talking about on the individual thing. I have never done anything to somebody just because they were a different race or color to them negatively,
Yeah, no, I get
right?
what you're saying. That would
Yeah.
include that. Yeah, that would include like on an interpersonal level as well. But I guess I don't know. I'm hearing like different things coming from you. Like I hear someone who which is very different from most FBA people, right? There's always this thought that like our culture here in the United States has to be preserved, which I 100% agree with. I think that's valid, right? That's something
Yes.
that's always been uh that's always been taken, right? Or there's always an attempt to take our culture.
I
And that
totally
was something
agree.
that was stripped from us right long ago. We have to constantly reinvent it. So I understand the gatekeeping in that aspect, and I think we should continue that. But I think for me the biggest issue is which you kind of spoke on it, is the ways in which it's not just anti-Black people that FBA has an issue with. Usually, it's somebody who comes from another country and they're here in the United States. You know, there's this assumption that you know, they've come here to try and take what we have or to ruin things for us. And for me, that's always going to be a problem because it's punching down, right? They learn that behavior from the oppressor, when really all smoke should always be given to the oppressor, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I don't believe, see, look, what I have, so here's, let me just differentiate what the meaning for tether is, right? The way I was taught it. A tether is synonymous for a coon. If you are a black American who is engaging in anti-black behavior, you are a coon. If you are from another country and you are of African descent and you're engaging in black anti-black behavior, then you are a tether. It has nothing to do with you being from another country, right? It's all about your actions, right? I have numerous African people that I'm very close with. I've had African girlfriends, you know, Dominican girlfriends. I have no problem with people from other countries. It's the actions. I don't associate with coons, right? I've been accused of doing things to coons and I remain nameless, you know what I mean? Because when I was a young man, it was a little bit easier to get away with those things, right? And you know, so I don't have any space for anybody that behaves in those manners. It's just a different name that's more because we're seeing this more. Like Byron Donalds is a classic example, right? He's attaching himself to black, you know, African American lineage, using talking points and things like that. He's, you know, descended from another country, and he's anti-black. He's a tether, right? Has nothing to do with him being Panamanian or whatever it is. It's his actions, right? So now, like I said before, I will not defend what you guys are talking about because I've heard it myself. You have a lot of ignorant people that claim to be FBA that say things that I don't agree with, right? You know what I mean? Maybe they were taught wrong, whatever the situation is, right? But those are the definitions of, and then to speak to immigrants taking stuff from us, right? That's never been a thing for me and the group of people that I associate with, right? We've always been very happy when anybody black achieves things, right? Because hopefully they'll open the door for more black people, which includes me, right? Now, what some people may have encountered, which I've encountered personally, is that when other groups from the diaspora, they achieve things, they open doors, they're normally closed to people of Black Americans. And that's where a lot of this stuff is started, right? So I think hopefully that kind of answers your question about what you just referred to.
Groups of people where? Like where?
Well, so there's a lot of groups of people around different places. Now I can only speak to my personal experiences. You know what I mean? That I've experienced myself, and that I've seen that my family has experienced. But in the Bay Area, the Nigerian community there, they don't really associate with Black Americans unless they're married to one, right? When they're doing something, when they're having their susus or the other stuff that they have going on, they don't offer us to come in. They don't offer business opportunities. They kind of stick to their own people, right? Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's fine. But you should not get upset if we decide to do the other thing, do the same thing, right? So also too, where I'm currently working out, I do a lot of traveling and now, and like I said, I don't have much experience with East Africans and North Africans, but I'm dealing with the Somalis and the Ethiopians, and there is no uh, um, corroboration between them and the African American communities that I'm going into. This is what I see with my own eyes in a couple of states because I travel for work, right? And I deal in my area of work. There's a lot of people from Somalia and Ethiopia that are employed in these places, so I'm familiar with the community, right? They do not associate with Black Americans in those states, right? That's just what I've seen. So that is why I support delineation and us supporting each other and supporting the Black people that support us. That's it, and that's all.
Okay. Well, I think it's there has to be cultural differences. I'm not necessarily hearing anything that they've done systemically to like impede upon like Black people,
I
period, right?
totally agree.
Yeah, so there's nothing systemic. Actually, I would say that there's coalitions between African American people and Somali people, and that's growing, right? And that's because of our shared experiences when it comes to racism. So like anti-racism and justice initiatives. There's advocacy groups, like African communities together. Um, they've also partnered with, well, in Minnesota, local leaders to lobby for significant funding for community development. Right now, they're getting a bad name in the media when really we should be talking about Amy Bach, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also there's Somali American students at institutions like the University of Minnesota that are creating coalitions with other students as well to address humanitarian crisis in the Horn of Africa, which I think is really important, right? I think for me, it's a huge issue when we try to base who we would align ourselves with as Black people using borders that were implemented by white supremacists. Why? Because those borders only benefit and only will ever benefit white supremacists, right? Their biggest fear is all of us uniting. That's their
Yep.
biggest fear, right? And I think that people really need to understand that. There's nothing wrong with you gatekeeping your culture, but you don't have to put down another group of people in order to do that. For me, that's my biggest issue with FBA. And then in addition to that, and I might offend people, but it is what it is. FBA, me personally, I don't think that they benefit themselves, and I don't think that they value themselves enough. And I'm not saying that coming from a place of like hatred or negativity. I'm saying this because I'm listening to people that look like me talk, and they have aligned themselves with white power structures, the very power structures that have taken things away from us, right? Here and overseas, here and in other places that we exist in, right? And it's like you've been kidnapped, right? And you've been forced to make your oppressor breakfast every single day, right? And let's say one day your oppressor is like, hey, you can leave. I'm gonna set you free. Like, I'm just gonna, go ahead and go. FBA's response to that is, no, I was making breakfast for you every single day. I'm gonna stay here. It's my right to stay here. I'm going to stay here because I put this work in. You get what I'm saying? That's weird.
Well, no, I understand what you're saying, and I've been to the continent before, right? Here's what I see as the problem, right? And maybe my solution may not be the best solution, but like I said, I was a Pan-Africanist for many, many years, right? You know, taught by one of the first Pan-Africanists, who happens, you know, my elder, right? Now, the problem is, in my opinion, from just overviewing my experience and my time on this earth, right, is that there is tribalism, right? And then you have different cultures because you have people coming over from places that are not as resourced as America is, right? And the way these things play out, it's played out to where Black Americans are burdened with doing all the outreach, taking all the L's and being the bigger person, right? You know what I mean? And then you have, you know, and like I said, I'm not going to speak out against all, but there is a culture in some people groups of the diaspora of anti-Black Americans, right? It just is what it is, right? You know.
Can you be more specific? Like when you're like with your examples here, can you give an example of what you mean by that?
I'll give you an example, right? One of the biggest examples, right, was, you know, I never knew this until later on in my life, right? But so when I was a child during the late 80s and the 90s, right? You know, during the 80s and 90s, there were people from the diaspora that were telling their children not to associate with Black Americans, right? I've never met a Black American that ever said that, whose grandparents ever said anything that anybody that's Black is your brother and sister and you watch out for them if you can. That's one of the biggest examples. That's why you see some of these things have played out, right? You know, then when you go into college, right, you got the Black Student Union, then they start the Nigerian Student Union, right? They, you know, all these other type of things, right? That have played their self out in the last 30, 40 years, right? And I could give other examples, right? But we all know that tribalism is a real thing, right? And unfortunately, I think the best answer for Black Americans to deal with some of the cultures of anti-Blackness is for us to close our ranks.
But I let you get that off to it. I ain't say nothing. But I need to. It's misinformation that you gave.
Okay, all right.
First, let's just and my fault. So I couldn't let this one go. The idea that stereotypes wasn't pushed to all other groups of people about African Americans is just crazy to me. We know that that's a thing. We know that through movies, through media, through news, through all of these different sources, a stereotype has been pushed out across the world about who African Americans are. And you said that you had some age on you, so I'm 30-ish, 40-ish, right at 40 maybe. If you grew up in the era that I grew up in, at any point in time, you're not gonna act like we ain't call motherfuckers African booty scratchers and bush, you know, all types of derogatory bullshit. And that we didn't think growing up that when we thought of Africa, we thought of those commercials that they showed us. It's called stereotyping. That's called propaganda. So the same propaganda that was forced on us was forced on them, just in opposite directions. We're thugs. We're gangsters. And then when they get here to this country, and then they see the conditions in which we live in, and they don't. It just reinforces the stereotypes that they've pushed upon us. And the whole time, white folk run off with the bag.
I totally agree, but I will speak to this, right? My whole city did not embrace those stereotypes against other Black people, against Africans. We were a Pan-African city. We named ourselves Nairobi Village, and we had red, black, and green flags in our city hall, right? So just because negative propaganda is pushed doesn't mean you have to embrace it, right? Because we sure the hell didn't.
So again, I wish you would quit making this personal about you.
Okay.
Experience, because you and your experience is not the experiences of the masses. So I mean, don't do that. We're having
True
conversations.
that.
Go ahead, y'all. Y'all got it.
Yeah, I think people kind of fixate on their own individual experiences, which is, it doesn't ever make sense because it's not going to be the same as like the whole, you know what I mean? But um, you said close our ranks. What do you mean by close our ranks?
I mean that we should focus on African Americans, people, descendants of slaves, should focus on building amongst ourselves and getting ourselves together, and only embracing people once they have shown that they are B1, that they're black first.
Ooh, okay, interesting.
Instead of flat blackness, like it's been.
Question for you.
Mhm.
Do you know what the maternal and infant mortality rate is for Black women and infants?
I don't know the exact number, but I know it's super high. I know that.
Okay. What about the literacy rate for Black children?
Well, I'm very familiar with that. It's for especially black boys. It's ridiculously low.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking those questions is because I never really hear FBA talk about issues that are going on amongst Black people here in the United States, and I don't really hear about any like any efforts to change certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which I think is a major issue. There always seems to be this fixation on like what, like us wanting to focus on ourselves, well, FBA wanting to focus on themselves, but that includes destruction towards other Black people, which is, to me, never made any sense. I think that that's the worst way to go about things. But closing your ranks, it doesn't make any sense to me. It just sounds a lot like wanting to again be masses favorite, in my personal opinion.
Well, I can see how you look at that, but you can't be help to anybody until you're help for yourself, right? Now, as a person who does deal with education for black people, and by the way, my program, the Blurred Academy that I work with, is open to all people of African descent. Doesn't matter where you're from. We've been doing work for years, so look us up and send some kids our way. We give out scholarships. But the point of what I'm saying is, I really think that you have to be healthy and whole before you can pour. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? Now, I'm not saying that this is perfect by no means, because I was exactly where you were at for most of my life, right? And I just not have seen. I see more people being able to come and benefit from the work that we're doing from the masses and excluding us, right? I don't
Give me an
disagree.
example.
Well, like I've said before, I can only speak from what I've personally seen, right? Now, the Blurred Academy, I can speak on that, right? We send black kids to college, to HBCUs, right? Right? And we're open to everybody, right? If you're of African descent, we don't care where you're from, right?
But wait, what do
Let me
you?
let me finish. Like, I'm just saying, what I'm as a black American.
So I would actually like for Swan to like try to like restate her question because I want it to be answered because I feel like we're gonna get off path and you giving promo right now.
No, I'm not giving promo. I'm giving an example. I'm giving an example of what we're talking
I
about,
gave the
right?
floor to Swan. Go ahead, Swan. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Erica. My question is, when you talk about these people who are coming over here and they're taking things away from us, or they're benefiting from the things that we've implemented here in the United States, but then they disregard us, who are you talking about?
So what I'm saying is there's lots of other groups that start groups that, like, so there's a Haitian American thing that does just scholarships for Haitian Americans, right? There's a Nigerian group, and I don't know if they're still active.
I'm sorry, can I stop you right there real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you a question. I know you know the answer to this, but I just need to hear how you talk about it. 1802, Haiti, what happened?
The best thing ever, revolution.
Okay,
Put them
okay.
all to death, 100%.
Yes. Okay, and what did Haitian people, or I'm sorry, what did the United States do to Haitian people?
Oh man, they done all types of stuff, man. They invaded them in the 20s. The Haitian people have been the most punished group of Africans on this earth.
I'm asking what sorry, I want to be clear. I'm asking what the United States has done to harm Haiti specifically.
I mean, there's so much stuff you can't even name it, man. They've interfered with their elections. They evaded them. They did all types of stuff. You know, they did all types of stuff. I don't know exactly what you want me to get at, but they definitely like I said, they interfered with their government. They invaded them. They supported all the taxes and all this other foolishness that they had to pay for freeing themselves. You know, they pretty much destroyed the country. You know.
So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because you brought up Haitian people coming over here and getting scholarships.
No,
right?
no. Okay.
Well, just elaborate on what you said then when you were talking about Haitian people.
I'm about to finish. What I'm saying is this: they formed a group, right? I'm talking about the Haitian people. That is for, and I can't think of the name of the people, but next time I'll have all this stuff out. But they formed a group. I'm talking about the Haitians here to give scholarships just to Haitian people, right? And that's their prerogative. But when we formed our group, it was for all Black people. So that's what I've been seeing, right? When we formed our group, I'm not going to say the name since you say I was, but I just wanted to let you know it was a real thing. I'm not just lying here. But when we formed our group, it was for everybody of African descent. It wasn't just for us. And that's the sentiment that I'm talking about.
Okay, but so I'm going to ask my question again because now you're not making any sense. What's wrong with them getting scholarships for school? If you're talking, I can't hear you because you're still muted. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know if you all can hear me, but everyone keep tapping the screen, keep sharing the live. Show Swan all of the love, guys. Show Swan all of the love. Make sure that we're doing all of the good things. All right, let's get these likes up to 350,000 likes. Repost. It's over 500 people here. You know what? And this is a great conversation, especially because Swan is here. Also, kind of sad that Itchy left. No, I'm not going to talk about it right now, but I guess we'll talk about it at family therapy. So there's that. And yeah, just keep doing all the good things. Give me about like 15 minutes. 15 minutes, y'all. 15. Okay, guys. Did he leave? What's happening?
Thank you, Antoinette.
Hey,
Oh my
Antoinette with the
goodness.
come through. W's. Okay.
It's still here.
It's still here, Livingston. It's still here. What's this? Let's see. I'm trying to see.
I need him to answer the question when he comes back.
Yeah. Justice, do you disagree? Okay, Justice is gone. I don't know what to do. Someone talk about something because I really can't.
Hey, who is this dude saying I was blocking your request? I wasn't even looking.
Listen, Simon is. I'm not gonna lie. Simon misses being a Pan African. He does. He's always in our spaces. I know that he wants to come back. But yeah, that's Simon.
So the thing is, if Simon is, oh, there he goes. Because I was saying, if he's like private, I can't see him because I'm not on my main.
Is he
Okay.
private? Should I kick him?
No, you can talk to him. He's on the panel now. You guys can talk to him. Hi, Simon. Are you black? Is he black?
Yeah, I'm full Black American, verified freedman.
Okay. Do you disagree with the background?
Yeah, of course I disagree with the background. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my co-host here, Swan, you can call her Daddy, and Livingston down there at the bottom, they're going to have a conversation with you. Only thing that I ask is that you remain respectful and we don't do the over-talking thing. That's it.
Sure. Yeah. How you doing,
Appreciate you.
Sister Swan? How you been?
I'm well, Simon. How are you?
I'm cool. I don't know where y'all want to start.
Why do you disagree?
I disagree because I think I think when you're the locals of a sovereign nation, let's start there. When you're the actual locals of a sovereign nation. Let me slow that down. When you're the actual locals of a sovereign nation, you have the right to protect your ethnicity. Um, African American was way too broad, and what foundational Black American freedmen are doing is just saying this is where our ancestors um are, and we survived a certain events that all melanated people didn't survive, not in the United States.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Where did you get this information from?
What information are you referring to? I said like three different points. So what particular information part am I to like us being locals, us surviving these events, or do you want me to talk about how, like which part are you talking of? Are you speaking of?
Let's start with the locals.
Yeah, sure. It was the prior to the United States, it was the colonies, right? When this United States were formed, Black Americans are the local group
Hey,
of the United States.
how did they get here?
Of this, we went through an ethnogenesis, and there were. So, am I to understand you don't think there were melanated people on this side of the world? Is that what we're getting
Well,
to?
I want to know why there were African people on indigenous land. Specifically, indigenous American land.
Yeah, Africa. The term Africa is a very broad term.
I like Kemet.
Actually has 54 different countries. I don't know
That's what white
if you
people call
realize
it.
that.
I like Kemet.
Yeah, but today it has 54 different countries. So when you say Africans were over here, this is the question you're asking me. I'm just trying to ask you to be a little bit more detailed, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, African people, just say that as the colloquial term, are indigenous to Africa, several parts of Africa. Okay. And indigenous people, indigenous American people from specifically Turtle Island, are indigenous to Turtle Island. And so, how did African people get from Africa, Kemet, Abu Khan, to Turtle Island?
All right, so cool. The Turtle Island reference that's usually referred to as North America. Yeah, would you be referring to that region? I just want to make sure we're getting this
When I
your
say,
train of thought.
well, for me, when I say Turtle Island, I mean North, South, and Central America and the Caribbean.
Yeah, the Turtle Island was not North, South, and Central America. When people say Turtle Island, they are specifically more likely speaking of North America. Now, if you want to say the Americas, then you could reframe your question and you can ask it correctly.
But I'm specifically speaking to the United States and North
Exactly. The
America.
United
So,
States is North
but
America.
based
Thank
on,
you.
hey, one
Okay, go
second,
ahead. My bad.
Hey,
Yeah, go. Yeah, 1 second. Go ahead.
So, if you understand Turtle Island to be North America, and I'm asking about Turtle Island, doesn't matter that I believe in that I could argue that it's Central and South America, right? But nonetheless, we're talking about North American continent later on to become the United States. How did African people from Africa get onto Turtle Island?
Okay. That the small portion, that tiny portion, it was about 100,000. Um, the new numbers from Harvard and slavevoyages.com, Henry Gates, Harvard University, according to their new updated numbers, that 100,000 that came, yeah, they may have came over on boats. You know, they were made. Not everybody survived, and not all of those Africans has children either. 100,000 Africans that came to the United States, they didn't have children. Not all 100,000 had children.
Okay. So, Black Swan wanted to say something. It seems like you're skating the question I'm asking you,
No,
right?
actually,
Because there are
I said
300, hold on
100,000 came.
one second, friend. I didn't interrupt you. There were 388,000 enslaved Africans that made their way to the Americas, predominantly through the Caribbean. There was only like 5 to 6% of them that came directly from Africa. And of that, there were 36,000 slave ships that trafficked in total, right? Like 12.5 million, 11.5 million, if you take away the 15% that were thrown overboard for insurance claims and the shark bait and cannibalized, made it to the Americas. The vast majority went to South America through Brazil. But I'm asking you, what was that thing called? Because prior to that, there was no Black civilizations on this continent. There were no African civilizations.
There absolutely was not any African civilizations, but there were many melanated tone civilizations on this side of the earth for sure. African, absolutely not. I do agree with you. And I think those terms are kind of confusing for these conversations, where it is sad that a lot of Pan-Africanists, and I'm only bringing that up because that's what Swan kind of introduced me to the stage with as being an ex-Pan African. I think the issue with Pan Africans and people that are not Black American freedmen is that they get these three terms mixed up. African does not mean black. Black does not mean melanated. Melanated does not mean African. African does not mean slave. These terms in education scholarship somehow has been fused into this anonymous term, and these four terms don't mean, they're not synonymous with each other. Shall I explain? I don't want to hog the mic.
No, Simon, you know we know what those terms mean.
Nah, because but Swan, but that's the funny part. I do sit in the comments and I hear these terms being meshed together as if they're a pot. And that's why delineation in the FBA, Foundational Black Americans, and delineation is actually, what's actually happening is we're taking a cloud off of people's head. Like you can see clearly now the rain is gone. Because Africa is a geographical location way over there. Now, slave is a terrible occupation where from country, everybody used it in one way or another, right? To put people on bondage. Now here's where the two.
One
Here's where
second.
the
Hey, one
hold on.
second, Simon.
I didn't cut you off, can
Yeah,
I?
one
But
second.
sure, you're the co-host. Go ahead, sir.
Black Swan.
Yes.
Does he believe Black Americans are indigenous to North America?
He does not. But I need to know what this delineation thing is about, Simon, and why you feel that that's important. And I'm going somewhere with this, but
Perfect. Yes, I was. That's kind of. I smelt that question coming up soon, so I was answering it, and then the co-host wanted to ask you a question. So as I was saying, these four terms: Africa, slave, black, and melanation. The Pan-African scholarship is the cause of the confusion. Okay, like I was saying in the beginning, Africa is a geographical location way over there with 54 different countries, 5,000 different tribes. Okay, they got their own thing going on. Slave, like I was saying, is a bad occupation of putting people in bondage, XYZ. We know what it is. But here are the two important confusion terms. You see, black and melanation is where this confusion comes. You see, melanation is what you see when you look in the
Sir, what is
mirror.
it that you're talking about?
It's I come. I thought this was a high level. I thought
Yes,
Swan is with me. I know
Simon.
Swan can hear me. So
But
that's what I'm
but
trying to
Simon,
get to. I'm explaining delineation like you asked.
yeah, okay, yeah. We get
I
I
could
think we get the other
I
parts,
can
but
listen. I could stop explaining and y'all could have y'all echo chamber, or I could finish. This is up to you guys.
no, but you're explaining the parts we know that there's differences between all of those words, like what you were talking about in terms of like being a melanated person, being an African person, and being a black person. We know the difference.
So, but this is where delineation is having people feel like they should make prompts and say FBA are agents of white supremacy. I guess that's the point what I'm trying to get to. Because now melanation is what you see when you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror. It's just a pigment tone. It's a pigment shade. That's melanation. Now this powerful turn of black now. See, black is an actual ethnicity group of a people that were emancipated here in the United States. The reason why you're confused is because the white man wrote something down on paper. And as we know, when you win the war, the white man, the winner of the war, has the pen, and the victor writes down the information. That definition of this African descent shit is not what the locals. That's not what we classify ourselves as. We are Black American freedmen, okay? And we have the right to draw that line. That's the delineation line. We have the right to to draw that line around us and protect our Black American history, our Black American ancestors, our Black American greatness, our Black American inventions, our Black American languages, traditions, practices, you name it.
Okay.
Everybody else has already delineated. That's the biggest part. Everybody else has already delineated. If we wasn't delineated, there wouldn't be a little Haiti, in New York. There wouldn't be a Somali town in each of our cities. There wouldn't be a small a little Nigeria in Texas. There wouldn't be a little Ethiopia in New York, but that's called delineation. They're already doing it, if I may say. So what's up with us joining the game? They're already delineating, correct?
When you say delineate, right? Are you talking about making a distinction in terms of ethnicity? That's what I'm hearing.
I'm making no. It gets not only that, but also taking their economics, delineating their economics only to be a powerhouse in their own ethnicity. Not only that, trying to get political seats in a nation that they don't have enough dead folks in to even try to ask for a political representation. Not only that, but also then they want to try to speak against, and this is where the term tether comes in, but when they speak against the locals that do have all the ancestry or the deaths or the civil rights or the protection and or the humanitarianism, when you want to speak and undermine those people, that's where that term tether comes in, because you're speaking as, and then you're undermining the people that actually are the locals of said sovereign nation.
Simon, I think the problem is that there's too much of a fixation onto other people that look like us, right? And there's not enough focus on keeping the smoke on the oppressor. And I think the problem that I have too is that there's nothing, I'm going to always say this, right? Because that's the
Swan,
one
can I
thing.
ask you one question? Oh,
Hold on,
nah, my,
Simon.
my,
Hold
my
on.
bad. I
Hold
apologize.
on.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Don't cut
My
her
bad. Go
off.
The
ahead,
Let her
one,
Swan. Go
just
ahead.
let you
Go
the
ahead.
talk.
one
Let
thing that
her
I can
know
agree
it's
with when it comes to FBA is the preservation of Black American culture. I 100% understand that. As a matter of fact, I think that we need to uh, go in when it comes to that, right? Like people hand out passes to the cookout all the time or invitations to the cookout all the time. But my issue is, right? Because when you look back in history, there are so many instances as to where you had Black people who are coming from different places, right? Who came together and were able to thrive, right? The like playing into that separation is doing exactly what your oppressor wants you to do. You get what I'm saying? And what I was going to bring up, the example I was going to bring up to the person that was up here before is we live in the United States, right? The United States has done Haiti filthy, like filthy. Since the 50s and onward, the United States has taken so much away from Haiti, right? I would have no issue with welcoming. Well, for me personally, I know y'all probably gonna think it sounds too much, but I worship the ground that Haitians walk on. I'm gonna just say that I do. I'm not gonna lie. And that is because of all of the things that they've done. They did for Black people, like historically, right? What they did was monumental, and it was important for Black people globally, right? But I don't think that there's anything. But look at the way that the United States has done them. Now, this isn't on Black American people, right? But what's the issue with them coming here, right? And us welcoming them into our community, understanding that we share a plight. That's the biggest thing, right? Is that, yes, the culture may be different, right? But think about this. There are people in other countries that are Black who've had to preserve their own culture as well. This is the same thing that we've been through here is very similar to things that Black people have been through in other places. And I think that we forget that, right? Like the American exceptionalism plays a major role in how FBA functions and how FBA thinks. And I think that that does a lot more harm, excuse me, to Black people than good. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Well, what I would say to that is, in the beginning, I do disagree with probably like 99% of what you said. But I disagree because it started from your beginning statement. You said you don't think there's enough, something about there's not enough target on the oppressor. We're putting too much focus on people that look like us. Swan, what does a Black American look like? Since we're dealing with people that look like us, what does a Black American look like?
I mean, they look like they're Black. I don't know. Light skin, dark
No,
skin, curly
oh,
hair,
but see,
straight hair.
but now you're doing that though you're meshing those terms. That's why I explained those four terms.
Meshing the terms?
I'm sorry, you weren't here, host. I could take you down this really
No,
long
no,
road
no, no,
again,
No,
or
no,
no,
you
no,
no,
could
no,
no,
no.
no,
just
no, no,
trust that
no, no.
everybody
Told
I've
you
been
that
knows.
here the
Silas.
whole
So
time.
so Swan, you see, I'm 30 steps ahead of that. So that's why I asked you, what does a Black American look like? You said they look Black. What does looking Black look like?
No, what
Because
I said was you cut me off. What I said, I mean, there's so many different ways that we present as Black people. It's diverse. It's diverse in terms of
what
our
does it
features.
mean? So that's my question. What is this look-alike blackness? Can you explain this to me?
I don't think that there's a
There's
look
no look to
necessarily to being Black.
blackness. It's very diverse.
Exactly, because black is a ethnicity. Thank you. It's an
Oh,
act.
you're talking okay.
So since we have melanation, thank you. See, just
So
because we have melanation, nope, this is the mixture that you guys walked yourself into, and you're causing more confusion to the people. Just because somebody
no,
has melanation and they may have broad cheeks and they may have a wide nose, they may have full lips.
Bruh,
That's
no, we
not my
literally can tell
ethnicity.
the difference
Uh,
between when it comes to black people.
you got it,
Okay,
host.
when it comes to you, I know, right? It's cool how I do. When it comes to black people, we know us when we see us. We know that, all right. We know the difference between a black person, so a black person, all right,
And
next to a what is it, like
melanated immigrant,
a South Asian. Like we
a
know the
melanated.
difference. We know the difference. I'm not gonna say melanated immigrant. That's stupid as hell. No,
No,
between and
no,
next to
that's correct, sure,
a
because they
Asian person. Like we know the difference. Like I think this is silly, and I think my issue when it comes to FBA is that delineation that you all want to draw between yourselves and the African immigrant or the Afro Latino immigrant, like that distinction that you all want to draw between yourselves. I don't understand the why behind it. That is the point that I've been trying to like figure out all night is simply just the
Oh, I didn't know
why.
that's what. Oh, that was your question. Oh, all right. The delineations
What
because
do
just
y'all
like.
want from it? Like, why
Oh
and
no,
what?
I'm gonna explain it. I'm gonna explain it. What we want is to not be the global avengers for all melanated people anymore. We don't want to be the global avengers that all melanated people want to be in the front line of their debauchery. We don't want, you know what also we don't want? We don't want melanated immigrants coming to the United States committing crime. But because the white man put a definition down, their crime gets dumped inside our black crime statistics. Hold on. We also don't want melanated immigrants coming to the United States, taking up all the social security and doing all this
One
other
moment,
stuff.
sir.
But
One
wait, even
moment.
on the positive
No, no,
end,
I
wait,
don't want.
even on the
No, no.
positive end,
I need a
you
moment. Just one
wait, you
moment,
wanted me
please.
to answer this
You
question.
are
Now I'm being
answering it,
interrupted.
but just one moment,
I
please.
go
I'm
on mute.
sorry.
I
Just one
I go
moment.
on mute. You got it.
I have a thought that I have to get out.
Help me! Help me! Nigga! Help me!
The fuck?
I'm gonna present an argument.
Can I finish my statement, or are we? Or
We
I mean,
gotta
if it's
go.
on the co-host, then it's on you. I just want if I was going to be able
Yeah.
to finish.
I don't know
So
anymore.
because she asked me a
That's
specific question that she claimed nobody else could
please.
answer, but when I started answering,
Yeah,
I
and
guess
that's cool.
there was
We
some
got to do it.
triggering.
It didn't. It
Was there
just.
some triggering?
No.
Yeah, you got it, Liv. Go ahead.
I appreciate you.
Let's see how this thing turns out.
Okay.
But I will get back to answering that question when it's my turn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
ignore everything he says
After
and get right
live
back to
is gonna be Swan.
the
I'm
host's
so
question.
sorry. After live is gonna be Swan because I did see Swan's hand up. So live, you have the floor. Then Swan.
Okay, just really quick. Who created the concept of race, Simon?
Oh, Liv, I can't hold you. I'm ignoring everything. When I start speaking again, I'm getting right back to the question that the host asked, respectfully.
That's rude, Simon. Come on now.
Yeah, that's not gonna work
It's
out well.
not because I didn't get
That's
to
not gonna. That's
finish
not gonna
answering
work
the
out well
first
for you.
question. No.
Not gonna work
You
out
know
well.
what? Hey, Liv, I will answer your question if I'm able to complete my thought with the
Yeah,
host
we heard.
first.
I got you though. We got the gist.
So that's where I'm gonna pick up from. So
Yeah,
whatever
I'm
question
asking
you
a
can
clarifying
educate
question.
me. Hey, Liv, you know you can educate
Yeah,
me, but whenever I speak again, I'm going back to answering the host's very
that's
important
cool.
question
But you're
that
gonna
she
take a
said
pause and we're
nobody
gonna answer
else
my
was able
question.
to answer. And
And
I
that's
think
cool.
I'm
And
gonna
we're
keep
gonna,
things in
yeah.
chronological order. So
Simon.
Liv, please, educate me, sir.
Simon, you wouldn't want us to treat you that way in this discussion, though. Like, just be present. I don't understand why that's so hard. But sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Because tensillogically speaking, Simon, since you want to have a upper echelon conversation, the concept of race and the delineation of people is at the precipice of white supremacy. The United States in and of itself is the last global superpower, the last one in existence. Black people are on the forefront of this country, and the end of imperialism, not only in the global South, but also in the West as well. Because even these European countries take a knee to the United States, right? And unfortunately, for whatever it is, we are the last people standing as this whole imperialist neo-colonial shit falls. That's where we are as Black people. Domestically, right? We have been subjugated against, discriminated against, categorized based on race, and had pseudoscience used to justify the harm to Black people. And so what I don't understand in everything that you've said, the delineations of people, the segregation in your voice and in your tone, and everything that you just said, what is the benefit to Black people? What is the benefit to FBAs that you would call to Black Americans? Because I don't understand how a minority to a minority could take on the majority, which is a superpower. Because for me, it would seem that unity, not only in this country, but also globally, can bring to an end to the tyranny that we see as white supremacy and racism. So as you do the same thing that the white supremacists have done to Black Americans here in this country, why are you okay sitting idly by while those same things are happening to brown people? and then turning around and victim blame brown people for what white supremacy has been doing to both of you.
Cool. Let me explain. The reason why I'm okay with sitting by and watching it is because the rest of these melanated migrants in their homeland have not been the change that they want to see. Right now, you have the people of Bahamas and St. Kitts. They're letting in other people, but they're delineating right now and saying Haitians can't come. Right now in Haiti, you have the Kenyan people standing guard to keep Haitians from going in the Dominican Republic. They're delineating right now. Right now, what you also have is you have Burkina Faso putting a border between his three countries that he's teamed up with, and he doesn't want the rest of Africa to interfere. They're delineating. When you go down to South Africa, you have Nigerians and people from Ghana in their nation causing a bunch of havoc and bullshit, and they're kicking them out, deporting them also. They're delineating. Right now, also, what you have in Ghana is you have an Igbo king or something like that, and they don't want that man there. They're willing to risk it all to get them out of their country. They're delineating. So in my United States, in my grand United States, and where my Black American ancestors are, we will not be putting other people's atonement prior to my ancestors' atonement. We don't have the same ancestors. We're not fighting the same battle. Actually, the white man is the melanated immigrant
So you're just a
liberator.
racist white
Excuse
woman.
me. All right, so I will let you speak
So
if
you're
you need
just
to,
a
Liz.
racist white woman.
Listen, you're showing a little bit of.
You're just
I
a
don't.
racist white woman. It's okay. Look,
Liz,
I
no,
just want to
I'm a
talk about it. It's
patriot.
all
No,
right. Look,
I'm an American.
I'm not here to go
I'm
back and forth, man. Look, I don't care. Like at this point, you just
Hey,
proven my
host, let me
point.
know when I could.
Yes, you
Host,
just
let me know
proven
when
my
I can
point. Y'all
answer
got it.
your
I'm gonna go back
question,
on
host.
mute. Listen, this is fine. Look, it's just my whole thing is that FBA and Black conservatives are the white women of the Black community. That's all. Like it's no other point to even keep going. Like everything you just said is some shit that a
That's
racist
cool.
white
Tell
woman
me the
said in the
difference between
1960s.
being Black and
I don't
being
care.
melanated, because you kept saying we, and I don't speak French. I'm not from French. I'm not Noir. I'm not Haitian. You kept saying we, and I'm not. Now I'm confused, Mr. Liv. I'm completely confused now. I'm confused up here.
I'm a
What is
freedman.
this we? Who is
I'm a
this we?
freedman. I'm a freedman.
Yeah, are you sure? Do you have?
I can trace my lineage back to the plantations in Louisiana owned by the French in 1655. Don't challenge me
So
on my
once
lineage.
again, that we is separated from who you think. If you're
Yeah,
a
no, I
charity
don't.
basket,
I don't
sir.
care.
If
I
you're
don't care.
charity, you
I
go
don't
do
care.
that. My
I don't care.
ancestors are not playing charity.
I
This is
don't
up
care.
to you, sir.
I
And
don't
many
know. I'm
black
telling you,
and
I
many
don't care about the
foundation,
conversation anymore.
sir. You want to argue? I'm not
I
here to
don't.
argue with you.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to argue with you.
Okay, so
I'm
this is where
telling you
you
right
can
now
go
that
on
this
as the
conversation.
co-host.
Liv, do you
Matter
want
of
to
fact,
talk
hey,
to
host.
Isaiah?
I'm sorry, host. Can I ask you one?
Yeah, I
Can
don't
I
care.
finish your
Okay.
question, host?
I
Host, do you
saw
mind if I
Shona.
finish
I
your
saw.
question you
I'm
had?
already over there on the backup. I saw.
You're being very reactive, Liv. That's not like you. You're kind of out of your character right
Chill.
now.
Okay.
I'm not being
What's the
reactive.
question
Listen.
that you have?
You're being very reactive, Liv. Keep a hold of yourself, sir.
All right.
And I think
Host,
people
but
just
before
want
we
you to
move,
answer a question
I think
directly. You've
that
been asked
I
quite a
answered
few direct
I
questions,
asked the question.
and you
No,
really
look, he's
haven't
doing
answered.
the pedantic. Like I get it. He's trying
I
to go
think I
into like
answered all the questions actually.
notice that when I start talking, he starts talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what he wants to get into is like a sword swinging match. I'm just not into that, bro. You're not measuring up intellectually, right? To actually
Hey,
even
Liv,
have
how
this
do you
kind of
feel about
conversation throughout the
reparations?
diaspora.
How
I'm being
about
honest with you.
don't interrupt?
And
Stop.
yeah,
Yo,
no,
you're
I get
being
it,
very
Simon.
reactive, sir.
Simon,
Relax.
no,
We're having a
Simon, I'm telling
conversation,
you.
sir.
Simon, what I'm telling you is that when I engage in these conversations, I engage in these conversations with people like Black Swan more times to listen to the amazing thing that she has to say, right? I'm not learning anything from you in this conversation. Nothing at all. Like you're providing absolutely nothing. You don't have the intellectual capability to even engage in a dialogue with me at all. So what I'm saying to you is that I would rather bow out of this conversation, right? And listen to the things that Black Swan has to say because I know that I'm going to learn from her, right? I know that.
That part.
You're not smart, bro.
And you keep
I
using
mean, and
delineate
that's an
wrong.
opinion.
It's
That's an
bothering me.
opinion. But host, would you want me to complete the question? If we're muting, I'm
Mod.
definitely just gonna leave the
My
stage. Y'all can
mods
have
don't
it
have to do
at that
that.
point.
It's cool, mods.
Yeah, if y'all
It's
gonna
cool.
mute, yeah. So host to, I guess, to complete the question, you were having a hard time with
Oh, I
why,
wasn't having a
like
hard
why do
time
we?
with it. It's just that you
Okay.
weren't answering the question directly, but you do want some
No, I
time to
wasn't
do
answering
it.
it how
This is
you
the
wanted
best
it
I
to be
can
answered.
do in regards to it. Let me see if it'll show. It won't show. No. I'm going to do this on the screen then, on my phone.
You gonna play another sound drop?
No, I have no reason to. You got
You
30
don't like
seconds. Go. Answer the question. You have 30 seconds.
Oh, about the why it's happening?
You
It's
now
because
have
everybody else has already
23
delineated.
seconds.
Everybody else has already delineated in all industries. We gotta, when we have Latinos that are firing Black Americans just to hire more
You
Spanish
got 10
speaking people.
seconds.
So we're just doing the same thing. I know it's no fun when the rabbit got the gun, but I mean, this was happening from now on. It's Black American History Month, and that's it.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with
You
Africans or
answered the
Caribbeans. You're
question.
not part of our history.
I muted you because you had 30 seconds to answer the question. And that
You could have your
answer
echo
was,
chamber
you can,
back.
okay, then
You can have your
you
echo
can
chamber back.
skedaddle.
But yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
nice,
Bye.
nice speaking with you guys.
Have a good one. Bye. Have the day. Not even the one that you deserve. Just have a day. Swan, what was the purpose? He doesn't answer any questions directly. All he does is talk for 25 minutes. He literally, like the entire time that I picked up my kid, all right, to the time that I was driving back home, all right, like even through stoplights and like just like on the highway, like, bruh, he was talking. You got off like one question. Liv got off one question. He was just talking, but he wasn't saying anything.
He wasn't, and I was trying to like take him somewhere, get him to go somewhere with it. But I guess the only thing I wanted to say in response to him is that he doesn't realize that the conflict amongst Black people that he brought up is rooted in whiteness.
Yes.
And he's playing into it. That's the issue, is that they take on the same way of thinking that their oppressor has forced upon them. And I think that that's the biggest issue. We have to reject white supremacy at all costs. And it's unfortunate that he's playing into it.
Yep. Like I don't know if you were here, Swan, but earlier this guy, I can't remember what he said exactly, but it literally was how white people like in the 30s treated Black people. He said something to the effect that like undocumented immigrants in general, even though they pay taxes, they shouldn't have access to any type of benefits. I was like, what? I was like how we didn't have access to the homeowners loan corporation, so we didn't have access to that. You mean like how we didn't have access to the GI Bill, even though we paid taxes? Like you realize that you sound just like white people did then. I mean, and even still now. And they don't realize it. For some reason or another, it doesn't click in their brains that they really are carrying white supremacy on their friggin' backs.
Yeah, unification amongst Black people all across the diaspora and the continent is crucial when it comes to revolution and liberation for Black people globally. And I think that we get really caught up into like, even on the continent of Africa, when you take a look at the borders that have been implemented there, the borders were put there by white people, right? What happened between the Hutus and the Tutsis? White people, right?
Yep.
And I think that like it's mind blowing to me because that hold is so strong onto people, but they are such a small percentage. Just imagine what would happen
Swan.
if Black people globally, yeah.
I'm so sorry to cut you off because that's a rarity, my love. This question in the chat, this young lady says, Mignon says, but isn't it a difference? They chose to come here. We were forced to. No, they're forced to also. They're forced to.
Yeah.
They're forced to because of imperialism. Because we go into their countries and we pillage and rape and we steal all of their resources and we pretty much force them out of their homes and they have to seek refuge. They have to seek the resources. They're following the resources. That's what they're doing. All right. And that's why they come here to the United States of America. It's literally not by choice. I don't think anyone wants to actually leave their home. Think about it.
So I put down this book because
Yes.
I'm reading everything Black AF. But I had read this. Can I get the big screen really quick?
Yes.
So this is, and I just started rereading this because I have been fascinated with like Black people, despite like Donald Trump and all of these things after his first year.
Mm-hmm.
I've been like fascinated on how people still are not, you know. And so Paulo Freire's Pedagogy of the Oppressed, he writes, the oppressed, having internalized the image of the oppressor, have adopted his guidelines, right? That part right there, that part for me, is that the lack of morality that I see in FBA, and Trump supporters, and conservative Black people, is that they have the morality, they've adopted the morality of Donald Trump. And they refuse to push back against it. They just accept it. Horrible, horrible people. He sat here for 3-4 minutes talking about segregation between Black people and other Black people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then wanted us to sit here and take it as if he was saying something of substance.
Yep. And you're supposed to like listen to him. And it just, I don't know. I like when people are just spewing the bullshit, my like brain just is like, you know what? No, can we get to the point, because you were asked a direct question? Please answer the question directly. And he just went all the way around. Liv, you said it yourself. You said it sounds like you're skating. You're trying to skate the question that I asked. And that's exactly what he did the entire time. All I'm asking for is for someone who believes in FBA to come into this panel and just be succinct, be clear, all right, be concise, get to
I
the
got you.
point.
I got
Isaiah,
you.
I guarantee you won't last 5 minutes. The floor is yours.
We can agree that African American is generally considered an ethnicity that denotes a specific cultural, historical, and ancestral heritage distinct from the broader racial category of Black. It refers to Americans with ancestry from African Black racial groups, primarily focusing on the descendants of enslaved people in the United States, African American. The consensus uses it, classifies Black or African American as a combined category for individuals with origins in any of the Black racial groups of Africa. A foundational Black American refers to the lineage of Black Americans descended from U.S. slavery, distinct from Black immigrants or their descendants, emphasizing a unique history, culture, and focus on reparations for historical injustices like chattel slavery, Jim Crow, and systemic oppression. So to be a foundational Black American just means that your ancestors have been here for 400 years and it's defining your culture and who you are as a people. And there's nothing wrong with that. Um, the There's nothing wrong with that at all. And it has nothing to do with being a white supremacist. It
Right.
literally just has to do with the fact that in today's language, when you say the word African, it's not the same because there are more immigrants today. So we as a people, we call them Africans. They're not Africans, really.
Mm-hmm.
We're African Americans and they're Black immigrants. And they're from different parts of the world.
Swan says she has a question. Go ahead, Swan. The fuck?
Sorry, my mom's over here. She's singing.
Oh,
Okay. So Isaiah, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna apply some pressure, and I should have did the same thing with the other two guests that were up here. Please tell me what Black scholar has fueled your perspective on Blackness when it comes to ethnicity and race and the differences amongst Black people globally and on the continent of Africa. What Black scholar has given you this knowledge?
My knowledge of race and ethnicity is just like the sociological definitions of
Nope,
the
that's not what I'm
words,
asking you. That's not what I'm
how they're
asking you.
defined.
No, Isaiah,
So
that's not what I'm asking you. That's not, I'm gonna restate it again. My question pertains to the very the mindset that people who are FBA have, right? I want to know what black scholar has talked about this, which you are speaking on, in terms of the way that you function as a person who is FBA. Name the black scholar. Was it John Henrik Clark? Was it Neely Fuller? Was it Amos Wilson? Was it Franz Fanon? I want you to name the black scholar that has brought you to this point and informed you on the views that you have. Quickly.
He has to chat GPT it.
He better not say Tyreek Nasheed. I might have to drop him. Erica, you can unmod me, but if he says Tyreek Nasheed,
I would never unmod y'all. I just want to let y'all know that I would not. As many people I drop on your panel.
that man is not a scholar. Tyreek Nasheed, I listened to an interview. He told an African person one time, he said, you better go get your giraffe. It's been repossessed. And then he said, pull yourself up by your flip-flops.
Oh my
Who
God.
taught him how to speak like that? Who taught him how to speak like that?
That's white supremacy dripping off of his
Exactly.
tongue. That's disgusting.
Exactly.
I just want them to be
Isaiah, I'm
honest.
looking for an answer.
Just wanted to be honest. Just want to be honest. Isaiah, come on now. Okay, all right. So Swan.
she said, "What black scholar influenced my knowledge of education about race and ethnicity?"
But I'm talking about specifically like pertaining to FBA and all of this, like the delineation, right? The doing things for people here in the United States for Black people that have been a movement, right? But then other Black people coming here from other countries and engaging in the same thing. I want you to name one Black scholar that we all know of, right? That led you down this path or that fuels and speaks to the same things that you are talking about up here.
Did he go silent
About
again?
our ethnicity? Yeah,
This is not
all
difficult,
of them.
Isaiah.
All of them will. Okay, hold on.
Wait, what?
This is not difficult, Isaiah. My question was very clear. You're someone who is FBA. I am asking you to name the Black scholar, right? That informed you or educated you into thinking this way. Specifically, if we talk about Pan-Africanism, we definitely going to talk about Marcus Garvey, right? That's what I'm saying. Who taught
There
you
you
to
go.
think this way?
I guess I've picked up things from all the people that I've read about.
That's lies.
Perhaps
They would never condone this. I
they would
don't know
never
not
condone
one black
what.
I don't know not one Black scholar that would condone this. FBA, aligning yourself with white power structures in hopes to gain financially. We could talk about reparations, right? But in addition to that, the preservation of Black culture requiring you to be harmful towards other people from other countries that have been through similar things. There are no Black scholars that have taught you to think this way. Not one.
Well, having ethnic pride acts as a buffer against discrimination,
I'm not just talking
and
about ethnic pride though, Isaiah. You know that.
but that's how you literally like deconstruct
I'm gonna just land here with this.
discrimination by having more
Swan, is
pride in your
this the
ethnicity
guy that
and where you
comes
come
on
from.
your panel and like I think you guys called him disingenuous last night? Is this the same guy?
He was up there for like 30 minutes and I would ask him a question. He would do this thing where he goes silent for 10 minutes and then he would say something and asking names. But I just want to say, Isaiah, there is not one. There is no Black scholar that would condone the things that you are saying. There is no Black
That's
scholar
not
that would tell
true.
stop talking over me. There is no Black scholar that would tell you to move and think in this way. It is rooted in white supremacy, and that is what we are talking about. Can I speak without being interrupted?
Excuse me, sir. Down up top. Don't do that, please. You haven't been introduced. Patience, please. Go ahead, Swan.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry. Like overall, when it comes to how FBA thinks and how FBA moves, and I understand it is about having a lineage to chattel slavery. I have a lineage, 1732. My people, my last name even, only exists in one state. It only exists in one state. The plantation that my people's worked on is still there, right? What I'm saying is, why would you want to root yourself and ground yourself in something that is rooted in whiteness? Because you can't name a Black scholar that would have taught you to think this way. You can't.
Is there one? And okay, I have hold music for these very
Can I speak?
moments. One moment. Hold music playing. I have to give him a moment.
I think they all had racial and ethnic pride. I don't understand who wouldn't have had it.
That's
They
not what I'm
all have
talking
it.
about.
You said not one of them has it, and they all have it.
Isaiah, you gotta learn how to like type in
They,
GPT or whatever while she's talking, bro. Like, this is ridiculous. Absolutely
it's
ridiculous.
ridiculous to y'all that that's all she's saying about it is like, oh, he doesn't know, and there isn't anybody. Like, that's not an argument, and isn't disingenuous. So,
Then name one.
You, but the thing is, you
all
had
of
to have
them,
learned this from someone, somewhere. You learned this. You didn't come to this
from
on your
all of
own.
them,
Then name them. Name one.
name one that didn't have racial and ethnic pride. I can't think of one.
So you don't have one.
I can't think of one that didn't have racial and
Exactly.
ethnic pride. Martin Luther King had
That
racial and
wasn't the
ethnic
question,
pride.
Isaiah.
My God,
Martin Luther
today.
King. One. Martin Luther King.
Truth is, I'm tired. Options are few. Hi, gentlemen up top. Are you do you disagree with the background?
Of course.
Okay. All right. Okay. Why do you disagree?
Asians of white supremacy, I don't understand why would it be considered white supremacy? And to
Okay.
answer the question is Dr. Claude Anderson,
You
Norris
always say
Sheldon,
Claude Anderson. Mm-hmm.
Norris Sheldon, and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Can you tell us what they each contributed to this way of thinking?
Well, Dr. Claude Anderson, he's been speaking on this about 20 years. You can pull up YouTube videos, and I can't go verbatim, but he's the one who taught, you wrote a book about it. It's called The Black History Reader.
The Black History Reader, you said?
Yes, by
Black
Dr.
History
Claude
Reader?
Anderson.
Okay.
He served, he was the first one to write about affirmative action, and he served under the president in '74, the one Jimmy Carter.
Carter was in 74. That'd be
Also,
Ford.
No, I'm saying that's when he was in the
know,
office. He was in the White House.
Oh,
Served in the White
Carter.
House.
Okay, got you. I got you.
let me say this. Do you know Dr. Claude Anderson? My patois about to come out. You know he's from the Caribbean.
Thank you, Liv.
Don't matter. It don't matter.
What else y'all talking about?
You asked me for a scholar, brother, and I gave you one. Is that supposed to be like a gotcha or something?
Claude Anderson would not condone the stuff y'all say.
He's the one we got the information from.
No.
Yes. Look him up.
I know who he is. Y'all don't know.
Look him up. I wouldn't say that if I was just making something up. I know what I'm talking about.
Here's the problem that I have with FBA. It's unfortunate, right? It gets really frustrating because when the people that look like you act like them, it always hurts more. I expect this from them. And I do expect this even from us. But when you double down and when you triple down, right? And when you talk about you and other people that look like us in a way that is the antithesis to Black progression anywhere, it's a problem. These Black scholars that y'all bring up, you don't know enough about. You did not read their work. You don't know anything about
How you gonna tell
their
me?
work and their
Don't
growth
interrupt her.
and the things that they have been through. For you
She's not gonna sit up here and lie though.
Don't interrupt her. You'll get a chance to respond. Go ahead, Swan.
The problem is that you are trying to. I'm not an immigrant, y'all, and even if I was, so what? I'm not an immigrant.
What?
I just said that my lineage goes all the way back to North Carolina. My people came here in 1732. The plantation that my people worked on still exists. and my last name only exists in that one state. Only in that one state. So please miss me with that BS. Anyways, I do want to say to you, FBA, the problem that I have, right, is that there is no framework for the way that FBA thinks and the way that they function. No Black originated or Black orientated or like framework that you guys are using. All of your talking points are rooted in white supremacy. When we take a look at the work that Black scholars have done, the information that they have put out there, the ways that they have analyzed white supremacy, not only here in the United States, but in other places as well, what you are talking about and what FBA talks about is the antithesis to Black progression. You can't name a scholar because there are none.
Name three.
Name three that have fueled my understanding. I named them all a while ago. Neely
named
Fuller,
Norris
John
Shelby.
Henry. Be quiet. I'm answering your question.
Dr. Claude Anderson.
Can you
And
stop?
Elijah
Talk. You asked me a
Muhammad. Come on
question.
now, what are you talking about?
So
You
what
just
he's
sit up and
saying,
lying.
what he's saying is that he has named 3 scholars that have shaped and actually promote the view in which he believes in. So that's what he's saying.
Okay. I thought he asked me.
Yeah, no. And Claude Anderson, no. Claude Anderson definitely was pro-Black, but he was not anti-immigrant.
Look him
He
up.
just believed that's how I was able to actually figure this out from knowing about him and then also doing some research. He was not anti-immigrant. Like, can you give us a theory of his, a reasoning, something of Claude Anderson's, all right, that would be anti-immigrant?
To identify ourselves as our own unique ethnic group. That's it. That's it. It's no agenda. I can go to sleep and go in a coma right now. When I wake up, I'm still gonna be FBA. You don't have to have an agenda. Now, it's a delineation movement, which is different. Now that's something different.
Why do I feel like everyone is being extremely elementary tonight?
I'm just saying, it's simple.
I wasn't
You're
talking
looking
to
for
you.
some
I
complex
wasn't talking to you.
trigonometry. No, it's simple. I'm just my lineage. That's it.
Can I ask you a question, FBA? I just want you to think about this. When did you come to this conclusion that this is who you are and what you want to be about?
After Obama served as president.
Boom. Okay. I want everybody to pay attention. Okay. And I know this is going to sound kind of far out, but listen, there has been a change that has been happening in the United States for quite some time, right? And we see this change globally. Okay. And this, for me, initiated with the overturning of Roe v. Wade. When we talk about the changes that have taken place in terms of like different movements and different ways of thinking, right? When red pill content started to pop up, right? Then we saw black pill, we found the Bannister, and all of those things, right? Seeing this stronghold that white supremacy has onto black people who have a lineage to chattel slavery, who have gone away from recognizing that the things that we've been through here are harmful to us, and we can never root ourselves or ground ourselves, right, in a country that doesn't still recognize our humanity. All of that has been tossed to the side, right? Now we see that people who are online, I've never met one in real life, but FBA that are online have very xenophobic rhetoric. They have very anti-black talking points, and a lot of the ways in which they think is rooted in white supremacy, right? Now look at where we are today in the United States. What are we dealing with? We are dealing with witnessing and experiencing what I would call a maintenance period in white supremacy, right? The reason as to why Trump is doing the things that he's doing, the reason why we see these ICE agents having a loyalty to this administration and going way further than what their responsibilities are supposed to be, even them wanting to go all the way out to Italy, even though Italy said no, W Italy for that, but not for anything else, right? This is all done by design. Y'all popped up online, right? Under and tied yourselves even to Tariq Nasheed, right?
It's been going on for
And
20
hold
years.
on,
It just
hold
came
on.
to the internet.
Allow her
FBA,
to
please.
You can't just keep on lying.
I'm almost done. But what we're seeing is that you and other people who are FBA have become integral to them infiltrating Black people and dividing Black people up. And y'all have been so dangerous lately. When we talk about what's happening with migrants, when we talk about the things that we are still dealing with as Black people here in the United States, wake up.
Can I ask you a
Y'all,
question?
they have planted information in y'all and you have fallen victim to it, and it is destroying Black people here.
It's no
It is
shared unity. I
destroying
don't know
them.
what you're talking about. There's no shared unity. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
How old are you, ma'am?
75.
75. Okay, through your 75 years, have you ever been told to disassociate with Mexicans, Latinos, Africans, or Caribbeans? Have you ever been told that by your parents, grandparents, anybody?
No, my family is all types of people in it. My
Now,
mother was born in Puerto
Thank you,
Rico.
Smitty.
on the flip side,
That was
how
cool.
many Africans, Puerto Ricans, Latinos do you think have been told that since they've been children?
None. When I was in middle school, I had very close friends that were from the continent, from Haiti. When I was in college, I used to hang out with the international students all the time. We would go out salsa dancing. We would go to festivals. I've been to Haitian events when I was in college. Like I had a good time. I was always around Black people from all parts of the world.
Okay, all right. Y'all have a good night.
You see what I mean? That right there,
Look at
that's
him.
the problem.
Look at him. How you? What was that? I don't know. What was that about? Why did he leave? What did he leave for, Swan? Why he run?
Because he said, how many people that are Black that are not from here have I been around or accepted, and vice versa? And I told him plenty on both ends, both sides, and he got upset. He left. But you see, that's exactly my point.
What a silly pants. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know why I ran this prompt. Is it because it's Black History Month? Is why I ran this prompt? I'm not gonna do it again. I said that last time. I got issues. All right. Also, if you all couldn't tell by the face I was making, Bubba's home. Bubba is home. Bubba's home. And Bubba think it's okay. John, this is a good time to end the live. It's a good time to end the live. That's what we're going to do. Good time to end the live. Okay. All right. Okay. Where are we at? Okay. Fantastic. All right. No misogyny happening over here. Bubba, the food is here. Please go get it. Thank you. Okay. What a night, huh? What a night. All right. I don't know if I did that good tonight, guys. My apologies for that, but we'll be back to normal tomorrow, of course. All right. All right. So there's that. It's pointless talking to FBA. Everyone's still lost regarding FBA. All right. They keep saying that it's an ethnicity. It's not, because if it were just an ethnicity, okay, then you wouldn't be against the fucking immigrant. Okay, you wouldn't be keep talking about, oh, we just want our reparations and the Democratic Party isn't giving us our reparations, so I'm aligning myself with conservatism. That's stupid. All right, no one understands what it is that you want, but what we do understand is that we are going to go to Hector's. We're going to Hector's, okay? Hector Talks with 2 R's. It's on the screen, all right? I know you can see it. Drop a 1 if you can see it on your screen, all right? It's really big. It's in white letters with a red background, all right? Let's go say hi to Hector. It's Hector Talks with 2 R's, okay? Hector Talks with 2 R's. And I want to thank Itchy, I want to thank Swan, and I want to thank Livingston for stopping by and hanging out and for holding the panel down for me while I went to go do parent stuff. So I appreciate you all so very much. Y'all are fantastic. Make sure you're following Liv. Make sure you're following Swan. I know Swan will definitely be on later tonight for the 3rd shift. Will you be on for the 3rd shift, Swan?
Yes, I absolutely will.
Okay, awesome. Fantastic. So I'll definitely be over there to hang out. I want you all to just keep doing all of the good things. Thank you to everyone on the tube who sent a super chat. I'm so sorry that I didn't get, that I wasn't able to get to it, but I will go over them after the live. Because I'll be able to see them in studio, I do believe, and I'll do that. And then also what we're going to do is, oh, thank you, Swan. I appreciate you, love. Drop some hearts in the chat for Swan. All right, and also, y'all, go say hi to Hector. Drop some hearts in the chat. Go ahead and make sure that you're doing all of the good things over there. I want to see his numbers, like, go up, all right? Because if you're not already following Hector, all right, and if you're not already in his space, then you're doing all of the wrong things, okay? You're doing all of the wrong things. So with that being said, I need to see the numbers get lower over here, and I need to see them increasing over there at Hector's. Is at Hector Talks, okay? With 2 R's. Let's go do that. And thank you all to everyone who sent a donation, who sent a gift, who sent a tap, who tapped the screen, who shared the live, who reposted, who took care of the panel, who followed. Y'all are friggin' awesome. Thank you all so very much for all that you do. Can't do any of this without you. So with that being said, I leave you with this as I always do. If you can't do something kind for yourselves, please do something kind for someone else. I love y'all. Let's do it again tomorrow, and we'll be doing it all correctly tomorrow. All right. And with that being said, y'all, deuces out. Go say hi to Hector now. Thank you. Bye. All right. Hey, tubers. I have to do the thing over here. The thing over on the TikTok where they ask you about how did the live go. Gonna do that. Anywho, tubers, hi. How's it going? I think I can pull up the super chats over here. I don't know if there were many of them, but I do want to pull it up, and I'm gonna be sending y'all over to Hector's too in just a quick second. If I can just pull this up really quickly. Here, fudgesicles. So here we go. That ain't it. Fudgesicles. I swear I'm gonna learn how to do stuff one day. Is it under analytics? Ba-dum-bum-bum. Maybe it's this button. Oh my God. Bubba's watching something on YouTube himself. Oh, I can't read them. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I thought I could read it while like live and like go back and see them all, but I can't. That's only like on StreamYard for the most part. So I'm gonna end here. Thank you so much for doing the good things. We'll be back to normal tomorrow, better than ever as always. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight, sticking through it. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. With that being said, keep doing all of the good things and